Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Precisely.
Wrong one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What We Watched in December. Our first show of Where Heartbreak Feels Dead for 2024. That's a big deal. Joining me today, I'm obviously Josh Woodbury. Joining me today, my co-host, Edgar.
Hello, people. We are in the new year, and it's kind of wild to think that in about 3 months this show is gonna turn 2 years old. So that's
crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, time flies. I'm excited to talk about the stuff that we watched in December. Watched a lot, but I'll probably not get into everything that I watched.
And Evan Harris.
Hello. New Year, same pod. I'm excited. I started out December with, I think, like 86, 87 movies, and I made it to 100. My first time ever getting to 100. I decided, should I get to 101? Should I get above 100? And I was just lazy. I finished Iron Claw on Thursday, around 6 o'clock. And I was like, I could watch Blackberry.
You should have. You should have.
Do anything else. So I didn't watch a single movie until I got home, my parents' house on Sunday. We just watched Christmas movies, but I should have. But I hadn't played any games or read any books for most of my breaks. I just started reading a lot and catching up on stuff I hadn't done a lot since Thursday. But anyways, I'm excited. Let's rock and roll. Oh,
what's that?
Somebody got a. Is that you, Edgar?
No. Okay. But yeah, I got to 107 films this year.
Nice.
Or last year.
Were you watching them, or you just putting them in a letterbox?
Yeah, I was just picking a movie, just putting it on my list.
4 stars, I think. It sounds good. Okay, 4 stars.
But no, I played a lot of catch up over the past week. My list grew big time. So that was fun. We'll get into it.
How many movies per day?
I was sick. I got sick on Christmas, so I stayed home that couple days after. I was reaching 4 or 5 days a day, 5 movies a day. Yeah,
that's too much for me. I mean, I'm like, I feel like I got to do something else. If I watch more than 2 or 3 movies, I'm like, well, I have been dropping the ball on TV and books and comics and manga. I'm like, I gotta do something else. But congrats, man, that's awesome.
I reached 6 movies on the 27th.
Fuck.
But one of them was it doesn't really count because I'd already seen most of it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Renfield or whatever.
Yeah.
Where did we start?
A couple weeks. Did we talk about Maestro?
We did not.
I
don't think we did. We can do Maestro.
Yeah. Film Twitter's enemy this season.
There's always an enemy on film Twitter for some reason.
I fucking love this movie. I just think it's such a great sophomore effort, behind the camera from Bradley Cooper. It's definitely an improvement on his direction, and there's so many great choices, the theater sequence. I forgot what movie what the musical was from, but where they're doing the musical on stage. That sequence is so good. Yeah. The mass sequence, the opening one shot, within theater, incredible shit.
I had a blast with Maestro. I wasn't I think the thing that really pulled me back from loving Maestro was I wasn't emotionally driven by it by the end of the movie. But I had a great time watching it. I didn't pause it once. I was really captivated by the story and by what I was watching. There were a couple of nitpicks here and there. I talked with maybe it was Edgar about it. I don't know.
It might have been, yeah.
Where I'm like, there's an issue with the editing and the passage of time that was a little bit messy towards the middle of the movie. And I'm like, I think I would have liked it more if I got a clear sense of the passage of time.
How much time has to go?
Yeah, and I feel like similar thing I felt like with Ferrari as well when they go to the style of their biopic, like just editing choices and
Very
how you
nice.
get from point A. When we get to Ferrari, there's some certain sequences I'm like, what was happening? Like, we'll get to it. But anyways, for Maestro though, Bradley Cooper, fantastic. Carey Mulligan, one of my favorite actresses ever, was phenomenal. I loved her story, and this movie was primarily a tale about his love for her, in a sense, in a way, and the flaws of that love and the flaws of their relationship. And I just had a great time just watching these two come together, pull themselves apart, and come together again. It was great.
It's also some of the best cinematography of the year from
Yeah.
Matthew Batich. Right, it's absolutely gorgeous. The black and
For
white,
sure.
the shot composition,
Yeah.
beautiful shit.
I told Josh after we watched the movie that Carey Mulligan, fantastic. Bradley Cooper's really good in the role. Everything about it, like from a technical standpoint, is really good. But like I think what I really took away from the movie, more so than let's say Bradley Cooper's performance, is just how much Cooper has grown as a filmmaker, as a director, from like a visual standpoint. Like I still haven't like stopped thinking about that particular shot where what's Carey Mulligan's character's name again? I forgot. Anyway, that character,
The wife.
the wife, when
Felicia.
Felicia, there you go. When she's like looking at him, like practicing how to conduct on an empty theater, and it's on like on the back of the theater, and you can see like the brick wall on the side, but like the way that the lighting it's hitting the wall, it almost looks like stars, and it's just everything about it from a technical standpoint,
gorgeous.
it's like it's just gorgeous. But yeah, I do agree with you, Evan. It's a little bit messy when it comes to like the passage of time, like the editing, especially as we get like closer to the end of the lives of these characters. Like I feel like the first act really does a good job in establishing like how they fall in love and how like that relationship develops, and then it kind of after that it kind of like a little bit goes not necessarily that it rushes, but it only shows you like very important moments.
Well,
of
I
their
think that's
lives,
the
and-
point. Like that's the structure of the movie. It's very much
Yeah.
like vignette based.
But for me, like in terms of enjoying or capturing the moment, it was very much bits and pieces. Like in one scene, you see her like discussing, or not really discussing, but just mulling over him kissing this guy at a party, and then it skips over to him and his family. Now he has a huge family now, and then Maya Hawke's in this movie. I'm like, okay, like I'm
She's
trying
good.
to. She's great. She's great. I'm trying to like entrance myself in a certain moment, in a certain scene, and how is she going to react to X, Y, and Z? But then we cut over to a different problem in their relationship.
I think the
but-
makeup is like good enough that I think it conveys the passage of time really well for me. Like
Yeah.
the makeup's good enough for they did rely on that to do that.
Very good makeup, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this movie. The performances, Carey Mulligan's arc, I think, is the tightest of it all. I just loved her performance and everything she went through. Her, especially with her face and everything that you could see, without even saying words and just expressing her emotions there. Very good.
I know people have already talked about this, but like that moment where she's just wrapping the toilet paper like on little like pieces. Oh, it's just
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Fantastic. So yeah, this was
Do
a
we
good
think
one.
Bradley Cooper is winning Best Actor?
No,
No.
I don't know.
wouldn't-
The Academy's so weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Going for
I mean,
Brendan Fraser last year.
Brendan Fraser made
Gary
sense.
Oldman.
Gary
even though people
They
didn't love the
they
whale,
love actors being taped in prosthetics.
Joaquin Phoenix.
it's hard.
They
'Cause,
love
like-
big showy performances.
Even in the whale, people didn't love the whale. But even if you hate the whale, like Josh, you can
He's the best
still
part of the
like
movie. Yeah.
you can still like his performance. So I really loved his performance. And the last year's Best Actor lineup wasn't even that strong. Like, who are the other contenders? Elvis.
Fucking the dude
Oh.
from Living.
The dude from
What's
Living.
his name? Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, an old guy.
Oh, Mescal.
Paul Mescal was
Paul
the only
Mescal.
good one, I think.
I would have liked Paul Mescal. It's a very subdued performance,
Yeah.
but I would have loved it. But yeah, I think I enjoyed Brendan, and Brendan is just such a great speaker and great
Bill
like
Nighy. That's him.
Bill Nighy. Yeah. Old guy.
Old guy.
But Brendan is such a like beloved figure in Hollywood. It made sense. But yeah, looking at that like past best actor lineup, I'm like, I can't trust them to like confidently say they won't do Bradley. And if it's Bradley, it's a good performance. But when I think of encapsulating 2023, I don't know if he's the best. You know, this is the guy that's beat out everybody else. I don't know.
He wouldn't even
Bill Killian. He what?
He wouldn't even be on my top 5.
Bradley?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
I mean, yeah, my top 5 is very different. I would have nominated somebody from They Clone Tyrone because I saw that movie again. I'm just like,
John Boyd.
I mean, you have like
good choice. Yeah.
You have a Cillian Murphy. You have a Andrew Scott. You have
Andrew Scott's my performance of the year, man.
Yeah, Tio Yo from Past Lives. That's somebody else that I will nominate. Who else?
But he doesn't scream.
Wait, what?
I was like, people always like they have to scream. They have to be so emotive and like Tio Yo. You're right.
I know you guys haven't seen Passages, but Franz Wodrowski, the main actor in that, is definitely would be on my top 5.
Oh, that was on my list. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Leo's that strong, and from Killers, I mean, he was alright. He was
really good, but
I would put him above Cooper. But I don't know if he's in my top 5 either.
Zac Efron would be up there though.
Zac Efron would.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it later.
You think so, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good. But there are so many really good performances. It's hard nailing down that top 5 for me.
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti, he's sticking in. He's
Jeffrey Wright.
Excellent. If only I could see fucking American Fiction. It's ridiculous. I can't see American Fiction. I can't see All of Us Strangers. I can't see the Nazi movie, Zone of Interest. I can't see all these movies. It's literally blank on Fandango. It's not even saying it's in Ohio at all. I write in Ohio in general just to check. I'm not going to drive to Cleveland or whatever, but just to check. And it's not even there.
Yeah.
Crickets.
I understand. Why people watch your movies.
I saw an ad for American Fiction. Is like, oh, coming out MLK's birthday. I guess you want like the black audience thing. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter. Release it now.
Movie.
Yeah, that's very ironic for the movie.
You're right. You're right. Given how satirical the movie is, apparently. But like, I saw the trailer again during when I went to go see Color Purple. My dad was like, "This looks really good." I'm like, "I agree, Dad. I want to see it." You gotta wait. Whatever.
I don't love American Fiction as much as most people do. I think it's like doesn't really balance the two storylines well, in my opinion. But Jeffrey Wright is great, and it's a fun movie.
So bad. It looks so much fun. Like a lot of the jokes I hear in the trailer, I'm just like
the comedy lands a lot. Yeah,
I experience this all the time. Like it's
really
very funny. I can see it being
also one last person that I'm gonna throw, and we're gonna talk about this movie later. But the kid from Anatomy of a Fall.
That'd be
Milo,
my actor, but he's incredible.
Supporting actors, is that really weak this year? No, it's strong this year. But yeah, he would be on the verge for me as well. But yeah, let's real quick. Have you all seen Ferrari now? We can go from Maestro to Ferrari. Since we're on the topic of it. Yeah. When I was talking about earlier, the editing was so weird, especially when it comes to the score. The score, like
weird, yeah.
Like it is funny because for me, I'm like, is this just me? Am I the only one? Is this weird for me? And then I look at the reviews online. I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one who noticed this.
No, yeah. A lot of people have like problems with the editing, the sound.
It was weird. The sound thing was fine, but the editing of the score was really weird to me.
Very overbearing.
Because there'll be some scenes. For me, it was the opposite. There'll be some scenes where he's talking to Penelope Cruz, and it's just like ambiance sound, and then they'll try and pull in the score at weird moments, and I'm just like, "Oh, is this the score?" And then it's Daniel Pemberton, the guy who did Spider-Verse. I just saw Spider-Verse again.
He's very hit and miss.
He's great in Spider-Verse, but I can't hear anything in this movie. I can't tell you what the score of Ferrari even was.
I couldn't even tell you what it sounds like, and I just watched it.
It's weird. I'm like, what the hell? Like, if I'm Daniel Pemberton, I'd be pissed. I'm like, you butchered my score if there was one. I have no idea. It's weird.
Also, like going back to the editing, like again, I just watched this movie.
Yeah.
So there's like this scene where Adam Driver's character goes and visit Shailene Woodley's character, and they're like going to bed or something, and then it cuts to the next scene, and it's him back at the factory, like messing with like the cars and everything. I'm like, okay, like what's going on here?
How did we get here? Yeah, it's very just like bits and pieces, and just like, okay, I guess.
Besides like the editing, though, I had a great time with
I had a
Ferrari.
great time.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
I was not expecting it to be like this moody drama about a sad dad, but like
Dude.
it really works.
Same. The family aspect was its biggest
Yeah.
surprise for me. I didn't expect how like the
Like,
idea of
and
his
Shailene Woodley, like it was
the
really
kid,
good.
Shailene Woodley, his idea of like the loss of control both in his life and then his career, and he's losing
Yeah.
everything. And
This is a man who's like on the verge of like his life falling apart.
Yeah. Also, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Penelope Cruz surprise because, like, man,
She's
good.
incredible in this.
Excellent. I was so captivated by her arc this entire movie.
Yeah.
Just like all of her lines. I'm like, why is she not in the top 5? Or she should stay in the top 5.
The second that she shows up, like answering the phone with a gun, and then he comes back home, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Insanely good. And usually it's funny because whenever an Adam Driver comes out with a movie these days, it's usually just like movie is okay or movie is good. Adam Driver is the best part of like every movie he's a part of. In this one, like Penelope Cruz just
Adam Driver's fine, but
Adam Driver's
he's
really
doing House of
good.
Gucci again,
yeah. I've seen him in better things. Like for me, in House of Gucci, he was like the best part.
He's the only
of,
one playing
like,
that movie
House of
serious.
Exactly. I was like, you're right. I can't tell in House of Gucci if he's the best part of it or if he's just playing it serious. And I don't know what really won.
Everyone in that movie was playing it like in a different movie. It was wild.
Yeah, it was wild. But anyways, yeah.
Dare I say though, that might be Jared Leto's best performance.
No,
it's hilarious, dude.
Blade Runner 2049.
It's so funny.
Excellent. But you're right. He is funny. He is funny in that one. Yeah, that movie really was like just cook. Every one of you, just cook. Do whatever you want. No sense of
Who
tone.
saw it? Like, is the best.
What a crazy! He's just pumping out movies, pumping them out, no matter how much they cost.
Also, like, I think it's funny that people are already calling like for Michael Mann's head of like, oh, he's done after this because the movie is bombing, and I'm like, Ridley Scott just
too.
Yeah, like Ridley Scott just had like the last dual bomb, and then he went to House of Gucci, and now to like Napoleon. Like they're gonna do fine. They're like on the top of their game right now. So what are you talking?
Yeah, they're Hollywood staples. Nobody's gonna deny them a movie a lot of the time.
Isn't Heat 2 already greenlit too with Adam Driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Like who would deny Heat 2? Like, come on, like, yeah, that's
it's a prequel though, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It might bomb, but whatever. It has Adam Driver in it. I'll go see it. Also, yeah, like, I had such a blast with this movie. Just like the intensity of the car scenes are amazing. Even the first spoilers again, the first death, like in the first 20 minutes of the movie. Like I'm preparing myself for it. I'm like, this guy is about to get killed, and then goes flying. I'm like, holy shit!
You see him too.
You see him like, ah.
Adam's like, you're hired. See you on Monday. I'm like, oh shit, this movie rocks.
And I don't want to spoil it, but like the bid crash towards the end, like is some of those horrifying shit I've seen in the film.
Horrifying.
It's absolutely. It's so good.
It's kind of hilarious that people were like shitting on it because of the trailers, but it looks really good in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good. I like Michael Mann's direction again. I mean, this was just a very fun movie. I can see myself recommending this to a lot of people. Like my dad skipped out on it, but I'm like, I think a lot of people, especially like, you know, they call Ferrari like the dad movie, but I think this is another case of the dad movie if your family doesn't mind the accents, the weird accents. Shailene Woodley's accent was hit and miss.
Yeah,
it was very like spotty.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not on Big Little Lies anymore. Come on.
Somebody else also that he doesn't necessarily have like a solid arc in the movie, but he's just really cool whenever he pops up. Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, I was about to bring him up. Yeah, he's really cool.
You're right. He was killer. Yeah, everything about this movie was just screaming cool. It was a very cool. It wasn't very complicated. It was a very simple premise about this guy just, again, like Josh said, like losing control and just the downfall of his like career and his life, but and like the contemplation of his legacy, like what he should be doing with his kid and giving him ownership. I was like, oh wow, this is an interesting plot point that I just did not see coming. And yeah, cute kid, by the way, really good. So yeah, I had a blast with this movie. Really good one. Yeah. What's next?
Should we go to Poor Things? Another big
Oh,
one.
let's do it. Did anybody leave the theater during this one? Huh, guys? Huh, fellas?
This movie is magnificent. I think that's a good word for it. It's a huge movie. It's one of the most. It's probably the best looking movie I've seen this year or last year, whatever, you get what I'm saying. Emma Stone is incredible. The direction by Yorgos Lanthimos is incredible. Mark Ruffalo, probably his best role yet. He's everything he does in this movie is hilarious, and it's a beautiful movie too. Like, it's such a great odyssey for like feminism, for like disturbing yourself, and like being reborn, I guess. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a unique, probably the most unique coming of age stories, and I'm a huge fan of that kind of genre, coming of age genre. Just people just discovering themselves in a unique and new world, and this was as unique as you can possibly get. And you're right. Like when I first at the beginning of the year, people were putting Gorgos in Best Director talks, and I love The Favorite, and I love all his movies, but I was like, how unique is his direction going to be in comparison to his other movies? And
it's so different. This movie is so different.
It's so different, which is so weird because a lot of his movies are super weird and super different. But this one just goes next level with like the first 10 minutes. There's like 5 different shot compositions and directing styles. Like we're looking at this world through a peephole and a door, and
it's black and white for the first bit. Yeah,
it was very interesting. Every setting change like had a different directorial style.
And the production design of this movie is just breathtaking. Like,
oh my god,
yeah, it's unreal.
I hope this wins best. I hope this wins something at the Academy Awards. Hopefully, Emma.
I think it will. Yeah, I think Emma Stone's looking likely, and I think
I'm like haven't seen Killers and haven't seen The Favorite. I mean, Poor Things now.
Lloyd Gladstone's fucking great, but like Emma Stone just does a lot more in this movie.
I agree. It's not even a competition. Like I love Lily, and she was great. But I honestly think I mean, she's one of the best parts, but I think Killers has a great trio of a cast. I think
she's the best performance in that movie, though. I do agree with that.
I really liked not Robert Downey,
De Niro
in that movie as well.
It was fine.
I thought it was really
fine.
He's De Niro. He's great, but like I don't think it was one of the best.
That's argument for a different time. But I mean, I'm not super hot on him, but I think that was one of the best I've seen all year for sure. I mean, he's evil as fuck. Anyways, I just think Emma did so much more than any actress I've seen this year, and even more, just like physically, yes, but even internally, her delivery, just like the commitment, even some of the line that she speaks towards the end of the movie, in comparison to how she was feeling at the beginning of the movie.
I don't know if it's her best, but like the fact that it could be is impressive because it's Emma Stone. She's one of the best actors we have right now.
Yeah, she's been my favorite actress for over a decade now, and she continues to prove like just how excellent she is.
Jesus, La La Land's almost a decade old.
That's insane. 2 years till La La Land anniversary.
You want to know how old it made me feel earlier when I found out gray hair on my chin?
It's crazy. It's insane. Time is moving by, guys. But you're right. I don't know. Like, it's hard to gauge between best and favorite because I do love her in The Favorite a lot. I've seen that movie a lot. I think
La La Land's still my favorite performance of hers.
La La Land is so good. It's so Emma. It's just so like I can't see anybody else.
I mean, the audition scene is just like it's so good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this one too.
She does a lot here.
She does a lot here.
A lot of range.
A huge range. A lot of sex. But
How was those parts for you guys? Because everybody in my audience were just like cracking up, like they were like super into the movie.
Yeah. I saw this in LA, like in Burbank, so it was a good audience for this type of movie.
Some of the people like I had a pretty muted audience, but they laughed at the right jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of Mark Ruffalo scenes just started cracking the audience.
Yeah,
Mark
that
Ruffalo
and,
So
is
funny in this.
amazing.
and William Dafoe's bubble, like
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that was good. That was so weird. I was just more like, oh, okay, this is the kind of movie we're getting. This is weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think it's definitely the most heart a Yorgos movie has had. Too. Like, there's a lot more meaning to it than I think something like The Favorite.
mhm.
At least that's the only other movie I've seen from him.
What else? Killing a Sacred Deer, which I hate though. I hate that movie. Can't stand it. But you're right. I think you're right. I'm trying to gauge. Yeah, because I haven't seen The Lobster either. I think that's The Lobster. Am I missing something else? Lobster.
He has a
Favorite,
few others
Killing.
like earlier.
Okay. But you're right. I think this one has a lot of heart that just kind of creeps up the more you go. Actually, I like because even at the beginning, spoiler alert. I think it's kind of in the trailer though. The way Bella becomes Bella, I did not know about the suicide thing.
Yeah.
That kind of surprised me. I was like, oh, this is dark. I did not expect this. I thought this was a comedy. But this is very dark. In the way the movie,
The way it comes back in the third act too, with
The way it
Christopher
comes
Abbott,
back.
like holy shit.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And yeah, speaking of that, Christopher Abbott, what a surprise reveal there. I did not expect him to be in the movie either. Maybe I
So
did. I'm not
good.
sure. But he was good. He was really good. Like everybody just excelled at their roles here. I think my favorite aspect of this movie was the ship scenes. The ship scenes are very, very
Gerard
good.
Carmichael also.
Yeah. Very compelling stuff on that ship. It really kind of changed there. And then also in Lisbon, is it Lisbon, right? When she's just like touring the city there, really taking in a new environment.
I love how much time we get to spend with her just walking around.
Yeah,
Me too. Yeah, not a lot of movies do that for sure.
The dance scene, obviously.
So
a
funny.
banger.
Infamous.
The score is
So
such
good.
a banger.
Oh yeah.
Of course,
Such a unique
excellent.
score.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie just knocked it out of the park. The writing was great. The arcs for all the characters are great. The character dynamics between her and Ruffalo, her and oh gosh, we didn't mention her husband,
Rami Joseph.
Oh, Rami Youssef.
Yusuf.
Yeah.
Really good. Like speaking of
Great.
heart, like he had probably one of the most like heart in the
Yeah.
movie in terms of like his infatuation with Emma and how that grows throughout the movie.
Yeah, he really does a good job at like selling like this like almost hellish wonders in the first act, because in the very first couple minutes we really are seeing the story through his eyes before it shifts to Emma.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, this was just out of this world, really good. I can see now why Willem Dafoe is getting lower and lower in the best supporting actor race, but I really
He's
also
great though.
I really
he's
like him.
great.
He was
He has a
great.
lot to do, like more than the past few years of people just putting him in their predictions
Yeah,
without him actually having what to do. He has a lot to do here.
I agree. I totally agree, especially because when we lost him in the first act, I'm like, oh, is this it from him? But he reappears in the second and then towards the end as well to really wrap up his like thoughts
A lot of
on
emotional
her.
stuff too.
And yeah, a lot of emotional stuff there towards the end. Really helping with that idea of freedom and free will and stuff. It was
So now
Yeah,
that
we-
we've all seen it, do we think it could actually win Best Picture?
No,
No.
it's close. It's like probably second, but second or third.
I haven't seen a lot of love for
It's
it.
top three for sure. I think
it-
it's this, Barbie, and Oppenheimer as our top three.
You still have Barbie
Maybe-
so high?
Oh, Barbie could win. Like, I think Barbie's number two.
Harvey, stop playing around. Stop playing
I'm
around.
not playing around. Do
Stop
you
playing
see what Critics'
around.
Choice did? Do you see the support? for
Critics'
this movie?
Choice? Oh my! Critics' Choice is garbage now this year.
On
Fuck
Oscar
off.
nomination morning, this movie's overperformed. I'll make a bet with you.
Again?
Oh, no.
Most
More
nominations.
times if Evan is gonna lose money.
Another Barbie
times.
bet.
Two
Yeah.
times. I lost money.
Wait, did we do the payouts for that yet?
Did I not pay you back? I'll pay you. Yeah.
Oh wait. This hasn't really happened yet, but like it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, I guess I'll wait till
The end
January.
version.
But yeah, I don't think you can win. It's the same thing I'm saying about Ryan Gosling. It's like these people aren't winning an Oscar.
I don't know.
They're not winning an Oscar. But
Barbie,
I
I think
agree.
it could win Best Picture.
Barbie's been overperforming so far.
It's not hit the most nominations, I think.
We'll see what happens with SAG.
If
it's done to sleep sad.
if it wins, if Barbie wins Best Picture, the one guarantee that you can like consider is that everybody's gonna turn on that movie instantly that night.
Instantly.
Oh, totally, yeah. They already
But
are.
I just think, how many number ones are Barbie compared to like Poor Things and Past Lives and Holdovers and Oppenheimer? It's like, how many number ones are going to be Barbie? I think Barbie's in a lot of lists, but is it going to be number ones for a lot of people with this stacked?
I don't know.
Best Picture race?
I've just seen a lot of support for the movie.
But you're right. I totally agree with you. The support is through the roof. Like,
and I think like we always say, Oppenheimer, it could go all the way, but there's always that early front runner syndrome.
It's breaking past this front runner, like, because
I think it is too. I think it's to be everywhere. We're just breaks past it, but
we've seen all the movies now, and we're like, I guess nothing's beating it now. Like,
I don't know, but like,
I love Poor Things, but I still ranked it a little bit below Oppie for me. I feel like Oppie is just
like it more than Oppenheimer.
Oh, cool. But I think Oppenheimer for me, I didn't mean that disparagingly. But yeah, for me, Oppenheimer is just like, it's that movie. It shook me in a way I didn't.
It is the movie of the year. Yeah, you can't agree with that.
Poor Things was also very, very good. It's in my top 10 for sure. And yeah, what a wonderful movie. I can't wait to revisit this. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have fun.
I'm gonna rewatch it tonight. I'm excited.
Oh, at the theater?
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, what else? What's next?
Should we go straight to the Iron Claw?
Let's
do it. Oh my god.
what a heavy movie.
Fuck. I'm already exhausted and tired and sad just thinking about this movie. Like, fuck. What is this? Manchester by the Sea family style?
Little Women for the boys, but like even sadder.
Way sadder. The Little Woman, I was like, yeah, movies are great. And then the movies are great with this movie too. But man, everybody's dropping
like flies.
Like flies.
I don't think we should spoil it, but like, yeah.
But let's talk about the first big standout for me actually wasn't Zac Efron, who is phenomenal, but Holt McKinley as like this brutal and
the dad.
The dad from, of course, Mindhunter fame and Justice League fame. Kidding.
Mission Impossible fame.
Mission Impossible. He's going to be Mission Impossible. And he was just like so intense. Right. I love to hate him. I was just sickened watching this character in the movie, and especially like the role of both of the parents in this movie. When it's just like, even early on, it's like, hey, I think like so and so is happening with Mike. My dad can get off his back, and it's like, that's for the boys. And then the dad kind of brushes it off later in the movie. Like, there's a lot of brushing off of the blame and the guilt and the responsibility in this.
And then the mom is just like almost enabling the dad to just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, it was sickening, and I didn't expect to feel that way watching this movie. And it was just a brutal experience.
Yeah, for me, I think like when people talk about Zac Efron like being like the real deal in this movie, like I buy it 100%. But like for me, like the reason why his performance works so well is because for a great part of this movie, he's kind of like stoic in a sense that you can tell that he's like repressing a lot of emotions because he can't show it to his father, because if he does, then he's gonna be punished even more. But like for the entire run of the movie, you just keep seeing this dude who is doing everything in his power to make him proud, and he's like the last out of the children who like he even acknowledges. And like once you get to like the halfway point when he like finally starts to crack and you start to seeing those emotions come out, it's like it's such fucking like raw emotion, like such vulnerability that he brings to the movie.
The scene where like the dad says like Carrie's or David's going to be the champion, not him.
Yeah.
Like that reveal like in the ring, like oh my god.
Like you can just see like he's just like looking at the floor, not even like trying to like look at anybody, but like it's so good. It's such a good performance.
And like Lily James is a great like opposite for him too, to like really bring him out, and she's great in this movie. Yeah,
she's a great like light in the tunnel for Zach's character. because he goes through so much darkness, and he kind of not enjoys that darkness, but he like allows himself to bathe in that darkness by not really stepping out of the wheel until it's far too late.
And also because it's all he knows since like he was a kid. Since he was a kid. So.
Exactly. It's all he knows, and he's kind of egging on characters that go through a similar dark journey. Enter Jeremy Allen White's character. And he kind of like pulls back, but also doesn't push too much. And it's like it's very interesting seeing how the arcs evolve throughout the movie. And again, it's interesting for me because it's not plain old just like, oh, I got to get out of this now. It's not like a cut and then he switches. He kind of like continues for a little bit until things start to change. And just that whole arc, how complex it was. Because again, this is kind of all he knows. So he's doing a lot of wrong and a lot of right, but it's kind of hard to judge right and wrong in this situation, given what this whole family has been burdened from even before they were born. So it was wild to watch. I think the whole prologue at the beginning was so crucial to understanding everything that happened in this movie.
I think Sean Durkin's direction is like really special here too. Just like the visual choices he makes and the sense of like looming dread once we start to think like see things going wrong that like persists over the whole movie until the end is just so well done.
You're right. There's like consistent like ominous tone.
Yeah.
Even
once
amongst the happy scenes
sets in for the family.
Like things are happy, but you're also like, but I can't forget that this isn't like, no, this isn't great, but things are happy. But then you realize like, okay,
like the wedding is great.
Yeah.
But then
that's like the start of like everything going wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Harris Dickinson is really good too.
He really disappeared in that role for sure.
Yeah, Stanley Simmons really surprised me as like the younger brother, Mike. Mike, I thought he was really good. Yeah,
I don't think I've seen him in a lot of different things. No. But you're right. He was a different, a new, unique role that I did not expect to love as much as I did. He was also one of the beating hearts of the movie.
Yeah, how do we talk about some of these things without spoiling? But like Zac Efron's last line delivery in the movie.
Last scene, oh my god, just heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. It reminded me of watching a certain scene in Avatar 2. You know what I'm talking about? No.
I get what you're saying though.
At the very end of Avatar 2, yeah. And I'm just like, holy shit, that scene snuck up on me and it broke my heart. This scene as well, just like, whoa, I was like, what are you doing to me? Don't do this. Don't do this. This is heartbreaking.
Then I just I don't really want to spoil it, but I still say like the afterlife scene. That's not too much of a spoiler. Like I was surprised they pulled that off as well as they did without it coming off really cheap
or manipulative. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad. That worked for me.
Really worked for me. This movie tugs at the heartstrings and just like pulls you deeper. And yeah, I was tearing up towards the end. It's
definitely been growing for me as I think about it more.
Yeah. There's just been so many great films towards the end of the year. It's hard to judge and rank and compare.
This is a great year for movies.
I don't know. Yeah, very good year. Very, very, very good year. I had a great time. But yeah, Iron Claw. It was a movie that, as the awards, contention started creeping up, I was like, I'll go check this out. It looks really interesting. I had no connection to the true story or even the sport of wrestling in general, but I liked what the movie did to get you involved with, even if you're not a fan of the sport, is encapsulated by like this.
That's the goal of great sports movies. It's like, if you don't care about sports, the movie just pulls you in.
I think about that mostly with a movie like Moneyball, which I adore. I'm not the biggest baseball fan, even though I played baseball. But Moneyball for me is just like so riveting. It's so good. It's such a perfect sports movie. And I feel like this way as well. Like we're wrestling. I know, like I've watched it before with my dad, like long time ago. But like this one really, like I was so captivated by the family, their trauma, and everything.
Yeah, the family like dynamic and their story is the heart, like the main thing of this movie. It's great.
Yeah,
another factor that really sells the family dynamic to me is like, if you really think about it, once you like watch the movie, is like all of the brothers, they're just like children trapped in like adult bodies.
Mm-hmm. They haven't grown up.
And that adds to the like whole tragedy of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad. And one of the unique things as well is like you learn like the brutality that goes into wrestling, and I think Lily James is a perfect character to go into. Like, well, isn't it all fake? Because a lot of people have that perception. It's just fake, right? And then I think Zach gives a great like short speech / monologue where he's like, "Well, yeah, but it's also like if you're really good at something, you'll continue to get rewarded for your efforts, and
Like
that's basically
acting.
what." Like acting, that's kind of what wrestling is. Like you'll get rewarded for your efforts. Yeah, some of it's his stage, but you're like, I'm dropping from the guy's
Still need to have
shoulders.
the physicality of it too.
The
Yeah.
physicality is you can't just nobody can just go up in there and follow the movements. No, you have to like bulk up, and it's very hurtful for the human body. And I think this movie really goes into like
It really goes into that.
it really goes into that like negative, like how harmful this could actually be for a fake sport like wrestling. So I think the movie really did a good deep dive on that. Yeah, really, what a surprising movie. I really loved it. Really loved it. What's next, Bob?
I think other movies we all saw. Leave the World
Godzilla.
Behind.
Oh yeah, let's talk
I
about that one.
think we talked about Godzilla last month, did we?
A little bit, yeah, but we can talk about Leave the World Behind.
We can talk about Godzilla again. Yeah, I think we were cut off last time. I can go an hour about Godzilla, but I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
But we can do Leave the World Behind. This movie is sucked. This movie sucked.
I think it's a lot of good visual choices, and I think the performances are alright, but the screenplay is so bizarre.
It's one of those movies that it annoys me. It has annoyed me while watching it. I'm like, what is the purpose of this scene? Well, we're on to the next scene. What's the purpose of this? To spook you? To shock you? Should I be interested in what these characters are even saying right now? Like Josh said, the screenplay is very laughable at times because I don't know what the theme of the movie even is.
Everything Julia Roberts does in this is so weird. Like her choices, her lines are so weird.
Peak annoying white woman. I was like, oh, this is so not for me.
And like the mystery, like you don't really care about the mystery behind Mahershala Ali's character. Like I don't give a shit.
Not at all. I stopped caring like 45 minutes in. If you're gonna keep
dragging it out,
keep like dragging it out. After a while, I don't give a fuck. And that was it for me. I'm like, okay, this is an interesting premise. End of the world.
I think that's like there's two interesting ideas, especially like towards the end with the ending. Like
then it ends.
It ends. Oh my gosh! Let's blow the fuck out of this movie because nobody's seen it. It's number one on Netflix. So what do I even know? Like people are watching this on Netflix.
A lot of people, my parents watched it. So
yeah, the Obamas.
The Obamas watch it. Yeah, Obama, what's going on here, bro?
They produced it.
Yeah, I know.
But one of his favorite movies of the year too.
This is production company.
I know.
He had a pretty good list overall. Or maybe I'm confusing it with his song list. He had a pretty good song list as well. But yeah, I think my favorite part was the actress from the black woman. What was her name?
From Bodies.
From Bodies. Yeah. She's so beautiful and she's fantastic here as well. I liked her, even though she was slightly annoying too.
Yeah, she's from Bodies. I knew I recognized her from something.
I immediately was like, Bodies, because she was my favorite character in Bodies, and she was my favorite character here.
Ethan Hawke. I love Ethan Hawke a lot. So
Ethan's great.
Here.
Yeah. Weird dad. Just a weird dad. Like both of these are weird parents. Just like leaving their kids to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
It's weird.
Can I say something? Why I fucking hate it in movies. I haven't read the book that this movie is based on, but like, why do fucking characters in these type of movies always like to keep information from other people, from other characters?
I don't get it. It's this talk, the whole movie would be solved.
Like the dad.
That's my biggest pet peeve.
It's so stupid.
Why does Ethan Hawke not say anything when he saw the fucking drones like throwing like the flyers? He doesn't say anything for like 2 days.
It kills me. I hate it in TV shows. I hate it in movies when a character knows something, but I'm so freaked out right now.
Or if they should just like solve an argument or something by just talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like
or Mahershala Ali's character when he comes back from like the plane crash and he's like, "Oh, I just fell in the pool." Tell them.
What are you hiding them from? The world is coming to shit. Like, I didn't want to scare them or anything. Like, it takes them so long to reveal information to each other. This is the worst thing in a movie because, like, as an audience, we know what happened, but we gotta wait for these characters to say it to somebody else.
And they don't say anything almost until the movie's over.
No.
Yeah. And then it's just like they're just like, okay, well, the world's fucked. We already knew that, but it was just so much like lack of information, lack of compelling characters, compelling themes. I didn't know what I was like supposed to be getting out of this.
And the daughter's just whining about not being able to watch Friends. Like, who cares?
I didn't. That little girl. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm gonna leave my family early in the morning. Go to some random person's house.
I mean, I respect it, but like, it's a dumb decision.
If she was taken, kidnapped, shot, killed, what? Wow. Really? You're just not going to tell your parents? And then they're calling your name. They're like, at the end, they're calling you like, hey, where you at? She continues to hide from them to go downstairs and watch Friends.
But hey, Evan, at least she said physical media rights.
Right? Like, I'm cool with that.
Fair.
That's a good message to end on.
That was a great bunker. Yeah.
But the deers too? Like, what's going on with the deers? I don't know.
I didn't
You don't care at all?
I didn't even care to look it up. I was like, should I look this up? The significance of the deers? Nah, I don't give a fuck. Just to be creepy and weird. It was creepy as fuck. It was weird and unnerving. But okay.
What was more creepy, the deers or the son taking pictures of the girl? For no reason.
That was so weird.
The son's weird as hell.
No
Hated
way.
him too.
These are just weird people.
It was just weird people doing weird shit for 2 hours and 30. This movie's long.
And the camera work's great. That's the only good part about it, though.
Good direction.
Yeah.
Good direction. Yeah.
Even Bacon is in this for some reason.
Who did this movie?
Sam Ismail, the guy from
He sounds
Mr. Robot.
familiar. From what?
Mr. Robot.
I couldn't stand that show. People love that show for some
I
reason.
never watched it.
I watched like half of season 1. I'm like, I'm bored. But hey, Evan, just give it a chance. I gave it a chance. I gave it 5
They
episodes.
also did I think they do Legion. Is that right? Or is it
No wonder. Because Legion season 2, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I gave up on that season 2. It makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of visuals without any kind of interesting thematic resonance. I'm just like, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Homecoming. That's the show. I don't know. I'm just saying shit.
You sound like cable network shows.
I think Mr. Robot's like his main thing.
Yeah. Well, he cooked for far too long. He was in the oven for too long. It's burnt. It's bad. Speaking of burnt, did we all watch Rebel Moon?
I didn't.
No.
You didn't?
I'm
Wow!
waiting.
Whoa! What happened?
Why am I going to watch a half-baked movie?
Yeah,
Damn,
I'm just
guys.
waiting for the full thing.
Support the Snyder.
No, I'm good.
This is why we can't have the real DCU, because of people like you. Wow,
Tell us about it,
okay.
Evan.
It's not good. His character's doing weird things. It's very cliche. Like we like one of my sins for like Rogue One that my brother and I were talking about is just like we're planet hopping so fast in that first act of Rogue One. This is worse, way worse, because we're like
Okay.
we're getting so many planets and so many
Like
interesting.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Like we're going to so many interesting planets, so many interesting looking characters that could have a lot of impact on the team or impact on the story elements at all. But it's just like, hey, here's a character, action sequence, new planet, new character, action sequence, new character, new planet, cue, action sequence. And it was the same rhythm for the whole second and third act. And then it's just very cliche about like, we're getting the team together. Then, oh, shit happened. Oh, see you next time, guys. It's very much just like establishing the team, going through the motions.
I heard that the whole movie is just getting the team together. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. And shit happens towards the end. I don't want to spoil, but and I don't, whatever. Shit happens towards the end, but then it's like, okay, then the real threat happens in part 2, cue credits. there is like an interesting mythology. A lot of these characters are based off of some kind of Greek, Egyptian, Japanese mythology. And I see this same thing about Zach with Man of Steel, which is not Man of Steel, BVS, which is also heavily lenient on certain mythological tropes. Even Jon Favreau has been doing this Mandalorian a lot too, where they get into a lot of these mythological tropes and arcs and avenues that I can clearly see. It's very interesting. But they don't really fulfill on yeah, exactly. They don't really go beyond that. Like I've read a lot of mythology books. I looked them up online, stuff like that. I can see visually what you're doing with these characters and their meaning behind certain characters, and that's interesting, but you're not really executing it in the movie. They're still very surface level in the movie, names aside. The villain was cool and funny, very one note kind of villain. But
how's Sophia Boutella and Mattel Husman? Are they good?
Sophia's good.
They're great.
I want to watch it for better than she was in The Mummy. She was really good. But Michael Wiseman, that
Huseman, yeah, from Hill House.
Hill House. Yeah. Did I say his last name? Huseman?
Huseman, yeah.
Game of
I'm
Thrones.
saying it wrong. I've been saying
French or something, or Danish. Is that the right term?
I think
he's some like European. Yeah.
One of those European countries. He's really good, but not my favorite character.
Okay.
But he's always really good. So none of the performances are bad. They're just cliche characters. Good performances inside of cliche characters.
Can you tell that there was a lot missing from the movie?
Yeah, again, in terms of like getting the team together, some of them have interesting backstories, or some of them have interesting elements that I feel like could be extended once they get to that planet and recruit that team member. Like those parts of the movie's still going to be the same. The extended cut is still going to have you getting one character, getting the next character, getting the next character.
See, like, I don't hate that kind of trope though. Like I kind of like that trope. Yeah.
If you extend those scenes, because otherwise each character got like 10 minutes.
Well, good luck for you, Evan. There's gonna be an extended version,
and I'll watch it because
I respect Zack Snyder as a filmmaker. I think he does some good work, but I just hate his obsession with like creating artificial demand for a director's cut. Like, why? It's on Netflix. Release the full fucking movie.
Like
that was the weirdest part. Yeah.
I understand like somebody like Ridley Scott, because his first like showing of the movie was theatrical, and then it's gonna go to Apple TV. That makes sense. But like, it's just going to Netflix. Just release the whole thing.
Napoleon already felt really long. How long was Napoleon? 2.5?
240.
240,
cut, right? It's a 4 hour.
240. It is already. It feels long. I was getting tired in the theater. It's a fun movie. But I'm
ready for that.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Me and Edgar are the only Napoleon stands.
Yeah. Evan, you're so great because you have boats.
Great. Ridley was cooking with that movie. That movie is so good.
It's really weird, but hey, I mean, I watched 4 hours of Vanessa Kirby. Yeah. She was great. But yeah, it's a movie. I think I'm excited. I'm interested. I wouldn't say excited. I'm interested in the extended cut and where they can go from here. Weird to have the extended cut released after part 2, though.
Wait, really?
It is, I think. I think so.
Is part 2 an actual complete movie, or is there another director's cut?
We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
That's so dumb.
Is he doing this himself, or is Netflix somehow like?
It's himself. It's his decision. Like it's.
Because if I'm Netflix, I don't know if I'm Zach or Netflix. I don't know which one made this.
Both parties like, hey, what's this great demand? But like, it's so stupid.
It's weird. Just cook. We're Netflix. You got lots of money to spend and dish and waste and bullshit. You have Damsel coming out. Shit. Put some money.
That movie's not out yet.
No, that's 2024. That was in the Netflix 2024.
That was in the 2023 one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
One where they like had scenes from the movie where they filmed stuff just saying for the commercial.
Yeah,
that was in there.
Maybe I'm thinking of the 2023 trailer.
That face is like sword.
That was horrible. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, it's coming out next year. I think
that was the one that had their Gray Man in it, and Millie Bobby Brown was also in there.
Speaking of Netflix 2023 movies, I finally saw the Gal Gadot movie over winter break. Heartstopper.
Not
Not
even,
Heartstopper.
was even a thing.
Heart of Stone. Heart of
Heart of
Stone.
Stone.
Was it bad?
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. But my
Even what
stepdad
happened?
and my mom really liked it.
You're becoming
Um,
me. You and me.
I mean, when I'm over at my parents' house, I'm like, I can't watch like, hey, want to watch Passages, mom and stepdad? No, they don't want to watch subtitles. They don't want to watch like a lot of my recommended movies were all like subtitles, South Korean movies that I hadn't seen yet. They didn't want to watch that. So I was like, what's on Netflix? Heart of Stone.
Rust.
They hadn't seen it. And they didn't want to watch Rustin. They were like, Rustin looks boring. Let's watch Heart of Stone.
You guys watched Naiad, right?
I did.
Yeah, I think we talked about
Boring.
it. Boring. Yeah. Did you watch it,
I did.
No.
Josh? Yeah.
No. I asked Edgar if I needed to. He said no, so I didn't.
How is that movie getting Oscar buzz?
Because
I
of
was
Jodie
like,
Foster.
She's
And
good,
like
but she's not
Benning,
even
too,
that
yeah.
good.
Jodie Foster's carrying that movie on her back, and you're right, Edgar. She's okay, and people will love her in it. I cannot
That's
wait
what I've
for
heard, but like I feel like I need to watch it just because of that outside chance. But I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to be bored. It just seems like the most boring movie ever.
I was the same way last year. I'm like, there's certain performances I'm not going to watch it just for the performance. Like Elvis, I couldn't do it.
Elvis is
I
good, though.
still haven't seen
Elvis is
Elvis.
good.
I
You
heard
haven't seen Elvis?
No, I'm not interested in Elvis. I'll see Priscilla 5 times before I watch Elvis.
Hey, oh.
I'm good.
They work together really well.
Sure they do.
Yeah, you do.
Sure they do. Never see it. Sorry, Austin. I watched Dune instead.
Do you like Baz Luhrmann?
What else has he done? I like Great Gatsby. That's
Romeo
fun.
and
Gatsby,
Juliet,
yeah.
Great Gatsby.
I watched those movies. Yeah.
Moulin Rouge, I think.
Moulin
That's
Rouge.
I've never seen.
Great.
I've never seen.
Oh, you should watch that, Evan.
Yeah.
You
Other
love
ones-
that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's on the list. I put it on the list. That's Nicole Kidman and Ewan.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
Yeah. But we can dish. Have we all seen Godzilla Minus One now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have we all seen it now? The peak of peaks. Because I think we were talking about December. I think it came out December like 1st or something like that, and it was like towards the end of our.
I have the
last
timestamps. Let me
podcast.
see if we did talk about it for like a few minutes, but we did.
It was a few minutes. Just
You.
a few minutes more. Again, this movie's amazing. If you have not seen Godzilla Minus One, masterpiece. It's probably like number 4, 5, 3 movie of the year.
Wow,
Okay. I adored this movie.
It's in my 20.
I've only been able to see it once, but I want to see like apparently
I need to
Japan's
rewatch
doing
it
a-
for sure.
Apparently, Japan's doing a black and white version. I need to see that.
You're not gonna like this. It's 49 for me.
49.
Right
Jesus
in the middle of
Christ.
the list.
That's
I thought
disgusting.
the action scenes were incredible, but like I wasn't really sold by like the human characters as much.
Oh wow.
Definitely
the best
better,
part.
the best,
Wow.
and definitely the best human characters we've seen in any of these monster movies lately. But I don't know. I thought it was fine.
No Vera Farmiga?
I think the choice of like having her die was so dumb. When she just dodged out of the way.
She could have thrown her entire weight, Evan.
Yeah.
She could have. So could she could have, the girls could have
There's a lot
found
of
the door
like
in
weird
Titanic.
choices like that for me that didn't really work.
You could do the same thing about Titanic. Oh, they could have both fit on there. Oh,
Yeah,
whatever,
but
like,
that's Titanic though. It's great.
what the fuck? Oh, that's not Titanic. Though. Oh, whatever.
Cameron has proved that it wouldn't have been possible scientifically.
Oh, thank you, science degree, James Cameron. Keep on making
I think
movies.
Godzilla definitely has one of the best scores of the year though. Right, that's some great score.
I love the score. Something got in my eye. But yeah, I love this movie. I think the human character is very heartfelt, very profound. The idea of fear and how that like cripples you. The idea of connection between found family, one of the best found family movies I've ever seen. I love the actress who plays his girlfriend, the love interest in the movie. I just think it was very sweet, very heartwarming, very impactful. Action is stellar. One of the most visually stunning movies I've ever seen this last year. Like the whole sequence in Gaza, I forget what it's called. Giza, the first big.
not
Gaza.
Gaza.
What's Gaza?
Please, no, God.
That's
Whoops, wrong one.
Definitely not doesn't.
I would
Whoops.
like, should I say something?
Yeah.
A lot of my students been asking me about that this week. I'm like,
Hey, that's,
What have you
that's a
said?
good thing.
move on. We're teaching science right now. That's what I said. 12 years old. I'm not wasting class time talking about it. Anyways, that's been in my head. But yeah, I just adored every little thing about it. I was tearing up at the end of the movie. Because I would have been, spoiler alert, I would have been pissed. This movie would have dropped from 5 stars to like 3 stars if she actually died.
Definitely. I'm glad she survived.
I was
I don't know
so
how she
glad.
survived, but
I don't care. I don't know, and I don't care. And that's what more movies need to fucking do. Where, does it make sense? No, Kylo couldn't save Rey. He had to sacrifice all his life. Like, it doesn't matter if movies don't make sense. Just do it. Just do it. And it's one of the main reasons why I love one of my other top 5 movies of the year, Suzume, from last year, about just like doing everything in your power to honor and save the ones you love. Like, Japan does that so well. Meanwhile, American movies love the idea of sacrifice, which I just hate so much. And I think this movie really so good.
So good.
It's peak. Whenever they played that score,
It's so good.
it's good. It embodies like unity, but also like fear at the same time. Like in terms of different sequences. Yeah, right there.
This is the main theme. Oh my god, dude. It goes so hard.
It goes so hard. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that theme, man, perfect score. Like even when I'm reading, I get distracted because like when I'm reading a book and I put on that score and I'm like, I get so in the moment and so hyped. But yeah, I just adored everything about this movie. I was in tears at the end. I was emotionally connected to all the human characters, every single one. Great unit of this. The sailors were great. Like the scientist, the captain.
Dude, the scientist, that best
Great.
hair of the year.
Fantastic.
His head of hair is so good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
But I think they really just need to watch it again because the choice of her dying at first really threw me off for the rest of the movie. So like knowing what happens, knowing she's alive, still I might have like a better mind going into it.
That's fair. Yeah, I was definitely like let down and shocked. I was in a state of shock. I was like,
yeah,
holy shit. Because it was one of the most riveting moments of the movie where she survived during that whole train sequence. I'm like, oh my God, this is so insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then he finally joined the city. I'm like, let's go. I was fist pumping the air. And then the nuke scene happens, the nuclear breath scene happens. And I was thrown for a loop. I was totally like mouth wide open for like 5 minutes. But that helped me like really get emotionally connected to Mahito. The main character.
Not Mahito. That's Boy in the Heron.
It's not Mahito?
That's Boy in the
That's
Heron.
That's Boy in the Heron? Fuck! I saw Boy in the Heron again, by the way. Really.
I saw it twice in December.
Yeah, so I've seen it twice now as well. Because I was trying to solidify where I have that movie in my...
Should we segue to Boy in the Heron? Since I think Edgar saw it too.
Oh! Sweet, let's do that. Let's do some... Wait a minute. Edgar, do you see in sub or dub, motherfucker?
Wait, what?
Sub or dub? Sub or dub?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Which one did you see?
Which one did you see?
The sub.
Sub. Good.
English.
You didn't hear Robert Pattinson?
Oh, I said dub.
Oh, dub.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in dub yet. I've heard our Pattinson.
You need to watch it, Evan. The dub is so good.
It is pretty good.
I heard he's good.
Robert Pattinson is like doing crazy shit.
Dave Bautista is really funny in the movie.
Yeah, Dave is funny as Parakeet King.
Who's Dave?
He's the king. The Bird King.
Yeah. Oh, he's okay.
There's just some great Florence Pugh, incredible as the drama, who's also like the younger woman in the when they go.
She's Hami or Han?
Yeah.
Hani?
No. Important characters. She's the drama who like goes with him to the world. Then she was the younger version of him.
Okay,
Yeah.
she plays the older and the younger version.
Yeah,
How does that sound like?
it's great. She kills it.
Isn't Mark Hamill the wizard or something?
Mark Hamill's the grand uncle. Great job. Perfect role for him. It's a great dub, Evan. You need to watch it.
Okay.
It's worth it.
I'll see how it sounds.
I saw
Maybe
the
on
dub in
Blu-ray.
IMAX twice, and like, oh my god, this movie is just the fucking best thing ever. I love it so
I
much.
will admit, I did fall asleep for like 5 minutes, like in the first act, but then I woke up. I was tired.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh,
I will not take that slander for this movie.
Hey, I can't control my body. It was so it was a rainy day. It was late at night,
I've
If
never
I'm
fallen
tired-
asleep in a movie.
if I'm tired,
and
I'll go the next day.
and also I was on one of those theaters that has like heat up seats. So like
Oh,
I
that's
was,
amazing.
I was like cozy. So that's probably
You
why.
passed out. You passed the fuck out.
It is a bit of a slower like in the first act, so I'm not that bad, but like
That's why
this
I
movie's
wanted
incredible.
I wanted to see it again because I really appreciated it the first time, but that was it. I just appreciated it. I didn't really get it so
Connect with it?
emotionally connect. Yeah, I didn't really connect with it the first time around. I could
Yeah,
understand.
the first
it.
time I was very overwhelming for me,
Mhm,
but I
yeah.
still had a blast with it. But then, like, the more I saw it, it just starts connecting with me more. The narrative made some more sense. What he's trying to do with themes made some more sense.
I read like
The
20,
legacy.
15 to 20 articles about this movie just to see people's interpretations of what they
Yeah.
gleaned from the movie as well. And it's very simple at its core. What'd you
Wrong
do?
button. Didn't mean to do that.
Oh, he's trying to. But I wanted to glean people's interpretations. It's fairly simple at its bare bones, but at the same time, the symbolism can also be very complex. And meaningful.
There's a lot of complex themes here, and I still don't understand exactly what he's doing for it entirely, but I still
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
what I can figure out, and just it's
Exactly.
one of those beautiful movies I've ever seen.
And the core theme about like just forgiveness, love, going over like perseverance through pain, that kind of aspect, and continue how to like not how to live,
How
but
do you live? Honestly,
how do you
live?
live? But also
Yeah.
like how do you continue one's dreams, right? Or one's like goals.
How do
in
you
life.
continue? How do you grapple with your legacy?
Exactly. And
It's
that
just-
was
I know it's not his final movie, but it worked so well as the final movie. If it was,
for sure.
For Miyazaki.
Exactly. For Miyazaki and for like the older character, like how do you like his arc really comes down to legacy. But I think for
Mhm.
Mahito, I think he cares less for legacy and more so for like his connections to his mom, to his new stepmom / aunt, and how he kind of like how he's able to move on from there.
I don't know if you guys have seen Petite Maman, Celine
Yeah, but-
Sciamma's latest
No.
movie. It's this would be a great like double feature of that. It's very similar.
Oh, cool.
Going back to what Evan was saying about reading articles and everything, somebody for Loud and Clear Reviews wrote like an article comparing the themes of this to like All of Us Strangers and how like
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
how like it deals with those kind of like themes of grief and
Like seeing younger versions of your parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to spoil for like all of the.
It's in the
strangers, but,
trailer.
Like that's in the trailer. Yeah.
I love that trope in movies, seeing younger characters seeing the younger version of their parents. It happened in Turning Red as well.
Oh yeah.
I really liked that scene. Like just when characters get to see themselves reflected in a younger version of the people that they look up to and their parents, it leads to a lot of interesting like dialogue and stuff like that.
And just movie has some of the most like powerful emotional scenes of the year for me. Like when they find the aunt in the room, and with this when they try and get her out, like with the white things going and the fire, and it's just it's so good.
And she's screaming at him. That was one of the things I really
Yeah.
wanted to pay attention to my second time around, because I'm like, is this his
This
interpretation
is actually the
of
mother.
her?
This is like
Or
yeah.
is this actually the mother? Because
yeah,
I think
it's so
the,
interesting.
the first time around, I went through the idea that this was his interpretation of his mother or of his aunt, because he's also like he feels guilty towards her. But also the second time around, I'm like, this could actually just be her, who also lost her sister. Like he didn't just lose a mom; she lost his sister.
She's dealing with that grief.
She's dealing with that grief, and she has to deal with Mahito, who's also not like the best son, and she's just trying to get to know him in the first half hour of the movie.
He's trying to get to her. He's
disappearing. He's hurting himself. He's obviously lying. It's very weird how they should how she should take care of him. That's why she's so easily led astray to go to the castle in the first place. And so I very much kind of connected with that my second time around, like his connection to her and how that evolves in the movie. But yeah, like Josh said, there's so many different layers. I cannot wait to rewatch this, and it went higher and higher
In
up
the
in my
dub
ranking.
version, right?
We'll see. It went higher and higher up in my ranking because I'm just constantly thinking about this movie. It's just one of those
It's
movies.
my
I just
number 2 film of the year.
can't think of.
It's my number 2.
Woo! It's my number 49,
I
but
love
it's
it
it's
so
good.
49.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Um,
I think it's the best score of the year. Joe Hisaishi, some of his best work yet, which is crazy because he's one of the best composers we have.
yeah, it's hard to say that. It's like he's one of the best composers.
I think it is though. I've listened to the score a lot. It's
too.
been on my mind a lot. It's so beautiful.
Josh, I teared up at the main theme. The what is
yeah.
it called? Is it
Ask me why.
ask
Is
me
that
why.
the- Ask me
It's
why.
like
yeah.
it's like 3 words, yeah. Man, it's so short though. Like if that was like 5 minutes long, just put that on repeat.
There's three different versions of it though on the album though. So
Yeah, I keep repeating it. I keep like put it on loop. Put it on
the
loop.
Wara Wara scene, like is just some of the most beautiful imagery I've seen this year.
Oh, and
they go up
scene?
when the night scene.
Mhm.
Like just so fucking good. And this music right here is just the best. Where's it playing? There we go. Oh, wait, come on.
It's really good.
It's so good.
Joe Hisaishi don't miss. He should be nominated.
He
Come
should
on!
be. I fucking hope he
Come
does,
on!
man.
Is he on the
Let's go.
short
It would
list?
be, yeah.
Yeah.
He got nominated at the Globes, which is good.
Like
I hope he gets.
I will be the happiest person. 'Cause I just watched Spider-Verse again yesterday too, and I love that score. I'm like,
I don't think they
both-
both make it in.
yeah.
Though. I don't think
they
both make it in.
should.
They should. But I don't think they do.
They should both make it in. There's not 3, 4, or 5 better scores better than both of those.
And
scores.
Past Lives didn't even make the short list. Like, what are they
That was
fucking
wild.
doing this year? That is crazy.
When that happened, I was like, I'm not the closest connection to
Past Lives is
score.
my second favorite score of the year. Like, it's.
I went to
it's so
revisit it
beautiful.
over break, and I'm like, oh wait, maybe I really underestimated this score. Like it was really good.
It's beautiful.
It worked really
It
well.
fits
on
the tone of the
revisit.
movie so well.
Yeah, you're right. So many good scores. We're gonna be. I think. What were the front runners for best score? It's like Boy in the Heron.
Killers, Oppenheimer's gonna win.
Oppenheimer's.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's gonna
win.
win. It's
gotta
great, but yeah.
It's great.
Um,
I listened to Shoe Salesman the other day.
Yeah.
Peak. That's my favorite track on that score.
I think Saltburn made the short list. It's a really good score, regardless of how you feel about
it's
the
not
movie.
really that memorable, but it's good.
I like that Saltburn.
For some reason, Barbie's on the short list.
How?
I mean, the store's good. Store's good.
What score?
There's some good score in that.
It's just
It's not that prevalent, but
it's just
more focused on
instrumental
the
versions
music,
of the original.
No, there's this track.
In this track, crickets.
That's some good stuff. That's good.
Don't know we menu music.
Fair.
Nostalgic, yeah.
But the way the story uses just like the instrumentals of the songs works really well, especially with the Billie Eilish song. Like, throughout
No,
the
yeah,
movie,
like
I think
that's
it
great.
works.
Like I'm not bashing it for that, but like,
Yeah.
is that really like?
I don't
on
think
the
it's
level
top
of-
5. It shouldn't be nominated, but I'm not mad it made the short list. But I wouldn't be surprised if it overperforms and Barbie gets in for score.
Also,
Very
why
true.
sound? Why is it nominated for sound?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
See, it's overperforming. It's overperform. What am I saying?
It's going to be big. Power of the Dog got a lot of nominations too. You never know.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Moving
All right.
along. What else have
What's
we
next?
seen?
Boy and Heron, one of the best movies of the year. Go see it.
For sure.
For like 1 week straight, I had like this marathon of movies that I just watched. One of them was Leave the World Behind. Then I saw Rustin, which is, there's not much to say. It's just another biopic.
I still need to see
biopic.
Rustin. How's Coleman?
He's
He's really good. He's really
Yeah.
good in the movie. He's by
Movies
far the
and
best.
but he's really good.
Okay.
May December. Finally saw it this December.
Yeah.
Oh,
Such a good movie.
Masterpiece.
epic. It is not epic, but just like fantastic. I really liked May December. It
Charles
really
Melton Hive.
Yeah,
it really
my
sticks with you.
like I was texting to Josh, like I get why people think this, like the movie has some funny moments. It does have like some funny moments, like the
Mhm.
hot dog
It's not a
line or
comedy
whatever.
though.
But yeah, it's not like a comedy, like something that it's almost sort of played as a joke. Spoilers for May December, when Charles Manson has like sex with Natalie Portman, and like he only lasts for like 3 seconds or whatever. Like I can
It's
understand
tragic.
yeah, I can understand why maybe somebody would laugh, but when you start thinking about it, I'm like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
of course he would, because he's only been with like Julianne Moore's character for like his entire life.
Yeah.
So there's like little moments like that. Also like the scene with his son like on top of the house, like just
Woo!
Ugh.
Fantastic.
like incredible stuff.
Like I can't tell if I'm being a good father in this moment. If I'm ruining
Yeah.
this
Charles
memory for
Melton
you. Yeah.
should be winning everything. I hope he
Yeah.
gets nominated.
Charles Melton and the screenplay for sure. Like the screenplay
Yeah.
should just
Same
automatically
approach.
be nominated. Yeah. But yeah, I like all the other, like people are putting low odds on Julianne Moore, but I think she's
great.
really
She's-
good
Yeah,
in that
she's
movie.
really
She's great.
commits.
Like that
Yeah.
scene
Natalie
where she's like
Portman is great too.
that scene when she starts breaking down over the pineapple cake or whatever she makes, like again,
Mm-hmm.
it could be interpreted as a funny moment, but like it's just such a raw emotion that she delivers.
There's so
Yeah.
many Oscar clips that you can glean from her in this movie. Like I
And the
can easily-
monologue from Natalie Portman too. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. I just think
Also-
Natalie is like the least potential to be nominated. I think Julianne has a good shot now. But
Also, shout out to that one weird little guy in the movie, the blonde guy, the drummer or whatever, the singer.
oh, he's great.
He's
Really
great.
The son,
Freddie
the son.
Friend, ex-friend, or whatever.
From the Penguin in Gotham. If you've seen Gotham, that
Yeah.
show.
He was her son, right? That was
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good in this movie. Because again,
Not the Penguin. Riddler.
Yeah, I think you're
That's
right.
what I'm thinking. He's
Oh, he's a
in
Riddler?
Gotham. Yeah.
Wow.
He's in First Man, apparently.
Yeah.
Was he the first man?
He's not.
Maybe the third.
Okay. Yeah. Oh wow, I did not know that guy from Gotham. I used to like Gotham before.
Gotham. The first 2 seasons of Gotham were really good.
Were they though?
I stopped
I dropped it because of the second season.
I mean, Cameron Monaghan as Joker, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Stay in the Jedi lane, please, Cameron. That's where you rock. But yeah, May
What
December
else?
rock. It's
What else,
excellent.
Edgar?
Oh yeah, let me see. Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nuggets.
Oh, how was it?
I still probably the best title of a movie this year. Really
Fantastic.
charming. It's not as good as the original, but it's a serviceable sequel.
I haven't seen the original.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
You know,
Josh,
Wow.
it's just like the Holocaust with chickens.
What was
What?
your childhood, Josh? I mean, you're not wrong. Man. Josh, you didn't watch Peak when you were young.
it was Disney.
You watch it in Little
a
Mermaid on
Disney guy.
repeat?
Did you not watch Shrek or what?
Yeah, damn. What are
I've seen
you?
Shrek. I've seen Shrek. I'm not a
Okay.
monster.
I don't know.
I need to
Okay.
watch. I might watch both. Do a little double feature soon.
I wanted to watch Chicken Run and Dawn of the Nugget back to back because I haven't seen Chicken Run in so long. But man, that was a childhood staple. Chicken
That
Run.
was like one of my mom's favorite movies, so it's like
Mm.
close to my heart.
Same. Yeah, I used to watch that all the time. Man, it's hilarious. It's so good. Yeah, I should have watched that over break. Oh, speaking about that, what else did I see? Wonka. Did we all see Wonka?
I've
Before we,
seen it.
do you have any more? Do you need to
Yeah,
shout out Edgar before we did that?
real quick. Blackberry, really
Yeah,
good. Like
Blackberry
those-
is so good.
like one of these type of movies, like for example Steve Jobs, where you know what you're gonna get of this like biopic of the guy that made this really popular thing. Like you know the tropes, but like I didn't expect this movie to be so cold, so like straightforward with how like it portrays the people behind like BlackBerry, the company, and how like it doesn't really like try to romanticize them or the product. It's more like showing just how big of a monsters they became because of like the success of this thing. But yeah, like it's just an incredible
Owen
movie.
Howerton, so fucking good.
He could yell at me and I would thank him. And what else? Priscilla,
yeah.
some of the best makeup hairstyling that I've seen all year long. That movie is
the way Kaylee Spain is able to transform from ages like throughout the years is just
she legit
so
looked
good.
at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then like once you get to like the very last like section of the movie, I'm like, is that really her? And then you're like, yeah. But yeah, great movie. What else? We can save another movie for a little later, but if you want to talk about Wonka, we can talk about Wonka.
Let's do Wonka.
This was so charming and delightful. Like I haven't seen the Paddington movies. I just had so much fun.
You haven't seen Paddington?
That's not egregious. I didn't want to see a bear.
Kind of is.
I don't want to see a bear.
I don't want to see a talking bear movie.
You need to watch him now if you like Wonka.
I think so. I think I will. I will. I'm not against it now, but I didn't have any urge to watch Paddington. When did Paddington 1 come out? 2015, 14?
16?
Around there.
16, yeah. I was seeing Arrival 5 times. I don't know. But this movie is just so charming, so delightful. It's very simple, but just very fun and heartwarming. Like I think Timothy just excels at the role. The whole supporting cast is really good. It's very funny too. I love this world that they set up here. This corrupt, capitalistic world that they got here. It felt like the perfect prequel, which I didn't expect to even hear myself say. But it felt like the perfect prequel to like the world that we would get come the other Wonka movie. I fell in love with like the whole cast, the world, even the dialogue. Like it borderlined on like goofy, but also it just felt right for the movie that it was.
Very wholesome, very whimsy.
Yeah, very wholesome. And the musical numbers. I didn't expect the musical numbers in Wonka to be better than The Color Purple.
Ew.
I had a great time with the musical numbers in this movie.
I watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original, for the first time before this. I know.
That movie.
Forte is so good. This is a bit blind spot for me. I've obviously seen bits and pieces over the years, but I don't think I've ever seen the full thing. And that movie is incredible. Obviously, it's a classic. What more to say about it? But then Wonka, I think I loved Wonka a lot. I think it's like a whimsy, wholesome musical. It does everything that you want it to do. It's a new take on the character. I think Timothée Chalamet like does something different with it, while also sticking to like some hints of Gene Wilder. But I don't think it tries to be like set up completely what we see with this character in the original movie, and I think that's a good thing though. It doesn't need to like be a imitation. He does.
That's a very good thing. I was nervous via the trailers. I'm like, is he just going to imitate Gene Wilder? Like, please don't do that. But no, it felt very much
a more wholesome version of the character, a more like friendly character. It's not this very sarcastic version that we see with the Gene Wilder character.
Yeah,
it's something different, and it's something that fits
less
Tolkien's
mysterious
stylings a lot more too. Like Paddington, it's Timothée Chalamet. Like this Wanda is just Paddington in human form, right? But it works for the movie, and the musical numbers are really inspired and really catchy, and
really
the direction is really, really great. And I love this movie a lot.
It's shocking. This could make like this kind of movie is like dominating Christmas. It's gonna make like 600 million. I'd love to see that. Me too. I mean, I did not expect to have so much fun watching this movie. I had a huge smile on my face. It doesn't have that much depth, but it's just such a fun and whimsical movie. It doesn't need to, exactly. This is the kind of movie
as the Oompa Loompa, fun role.
Very fun. No matter how much pain he went through on that performance.
Calla Lane as Noodle, the younger girl, great.
So good. Yeah.
I think Keaton Michael Key. The fat jokes were a bit egregious, but I don't. It doesn't mind me. It doesn't mind too much. But
yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, it was just a really fun movie, and I haven't stopped listening to the soundtrack because those are bangers right there.
The soundtrack is really good. The music numbers are really, really, really good. And
A Road of Your Own, incredible song.
incredible. In a year of like, I think Wish, I was like, this musical is Wish are awful, just awful. Like Wonka is just the epitome of a great musical.
This version of Pure Imagination, just so good.
So good, so
That's
interesting.
at the end of the movie, like so good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it was just a very sweet movie. Oh, and the whole aspect, I said it wasn't deep, but like it was very emotional in terms of like he's doing this for his mother, his connection
That
to his
stuff works
mother.
so well for me. Yeah.
I seen at the end.
In the
I was
end
like,
with, like,
oh, full
It's not
circle.
about, like how you make shots, it's about the people you share it with. Oh my god.
Amazing.
So good.
It's amazing. Like it got the heart where it counts.
Sally Hawkins. Great.
Yeah. She didn't fuck a monster in this movie, but she was good. She was good.
No. She's also in Paddington, which you need to see.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Paddington has the same vibes as this movie?
Definitely. I think if you like this movie, you'll like Paddington.
Okay, yeah. Because whenever I saw the trailers, I'm like, am I gonna like Paddington? It's just people like it has 100% everywhere. I'm just like, I didn't know if it was that kind of movie.
I was with you completely. I went into it. I saw it on Netflix one day, and it like shocked me how good it was, and how like Wes Anderson like kind of vibes it had.
Okay,
it's so good.
So yeah, I'll catch it on the flip side here and there. Definitely before the third one comes out. Is that set for this year, by the way? Paddington 3, is that this year or next
2025.
year? 2025. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got time. What else did we see this December?
I need to hear his thoughts on Wonka.
Yeah. Well, wait.
What do you think of the Wonka, bitch?
It's good. It's really good. Human trafficking and shit. No, but yeah, it's a really. It feels like an insult, but it's not. It's a really cute movie. Like it is one of those movies that I can see like a lot of people like growing up on, like in the future. Like for some reason, people look back with nostalgia to like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like
I watched that so many times. Yeah,
I don't like that movie at all.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there's like
not bad.
It's
damn. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was like 12.
Same.
I
don't remember it too well though. I don't have fond memories of it.
Yeah, it was good for what it was.
Yeah, but yeah, this movie's really good, and the weird little trio of the Chocolate Mafia or whatever.
Oh yeah, weird.
Their songs
are bangers. No good. I'm like, why are they spitting right now? Like, holy shit.
Scrub, banner.
Good. Yeah.
I need a sequel to see how Willy Wonka broke down and like became a psycho.
How it became, so demented.
What I was saying with Evan when you were done was like, I'm glad we didn't get that version of the character. Like, I'm glad we got something new.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. His connection to like again his mom and to the black girl. What'd you say her name was, Josh?
Calla Lane, I think.
Calla Lane. Yeah, she was really good. She just really surprised me. This is like her first big movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. But yeah, Edgar, you gotta head out.
No, I'm just gonna use the restroom.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Aquaman 2. Anybody see this besides me?
I think Edgar did, but I haven't.
I think Edgar did. It was fine. Not as good as the first one, which I rewatched the first one, and it went up a little bit for me. I gave it like 3.5 out of 3 instead of 3 stars.
It's just so generic.
The first one had generic tendencies to it, and a lot of things I did not like. But I had more fun with it in terms of like his connection to Orm in the first one than I remembered. The second one, though, fails to live up to the energy of the first one. Black Manta is done dirty once again. And I'm a huge Black Manta fan of his portrayal.
That's weird because like you think in the sequel, if he's coming back, they would do more with him.
Right, because I think the first one, my big criticism was like Black Manta gets done dirty, but it's an Orm movie, so I can see why they're setting up they're setting up Black Manta so he'll be more prominent in the second one, which he is. But there's this mind control element to his character in this movie that just does not work. I hate mind control in movies, especially when it comes to the villains. And this one, I'm like, they're not letting Yaya cook. It's Yaya. He's excellent and a lot of work. For this one though, he's just going through the motions. Unfortunately, a lot of the characters are. Orm and Aquaman.
That's Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson's great. I love Patrick Wilson. I'm biased because I'm a huge Patrick Wilson fan, but he's the best part of both movies. So
how's Amber Heard?
She's good. I wish she was in it more because it's weird because Aquaman has like this bond with his dad where it's just like, it's just me and you, Pop. I'm like, no, you got a wife. I would have liked to see, because another criticism of the first movie is that their romance seems a bit too quick. And
I liked it in the first movie. I thought it was fine.
And it's solid, but like now that we're in the second movie, can we go into like the tribulation, the trials between Aquaman and Mera? And Mera's great when she's there, but her dynamic with Aquaman is basically non-existent. She just comes in to save the day, which is badass and awesome. I'm a huge Mera fan as well, so I'm biased a little bit, but I wish she was in it more. And yeah, the main villain is just, besides Manta, is just very bland and one-note and bad. And the effects are cool. The action's decent certain spots. But yeah, there's not a lot of meat on the bone with this one. It's even goofier than the first one, to its detriment.
Yeah, that's why I just don't care at all to see this.
What if I said that I like Aquaman better than the Flash?
You'll be right. It's better than the Flash.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's goofier, and that helps it because this is just an example, but there's like a scene where they're like this battle scene like underwater, and like they're riding like electronic sharks, and it's just like so fucking stupid, but like
it's weird.
But the scene with Barry and his mom in the Flash are really fucking good.
That's one scene. Whenever people want to high praise the Flash, they're like, but the scene with his mom, it's great. It's great. Is it earned? Kind of.
Yeah.
But like, it's a great scene. You're right. But I think Aquaman 2, I wasn't upset watching like I was watching the Flash at times. For me, I'm just like, it was a fun movie. It was a very fun movie. I liked the Marvels more than both of those movies, The Flash and Aquaman. Aquaman 2
or Shazam in there.
Or Shazam was last year. Holy shit.
This year, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I did not like Shazam 2.
That was so forgettable.
Black Adam's way better than Shazam 2.
I haven't seen Black Adam.
Way better. Shazam 2 is like right next to The Flash for me. I think I like it a bit more than, I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
I think Flash is better.
I could agree with that. I wouldn't be upset if you say
Skittles fucking product placement. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
I think it's Shazam is like, it's harder to rate because like the first one is so good, and it's like it's hard to imagine that this
fumbled it so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's the studio interference too. Like I love David Sandberg.
I love David Sandberg.
Great. Like
I listened to a lot of his interviews.
You could tell he really was pissed. Like there was probably a lot of interference with that movie.
He did a great interview with Stuckman on Stuckman's podcast last year, going behind the scenes about Shazam and his starting out in Hollywood, and it was really informative of his character, him as a director. And yeah, I'm just like, I really wanted to root for this movie so badly, and it really just let me down. So yeah, I can kind of see the Flash being above Shazam, but they're like neck and neck. I don't know. Either way,
Marvel is better than any of them.
Marvel is better than a lot of those. I really enjoyed the Marvels.
Marvels is great, man. It was a fun time.
Yeah, very fun time. So yeah, Aquaman, see it or don't see it. It's not really. You'll see it on HBO Max next month probably. Trying to think what other 2023 movie we have here.
Silent Night. Did you see Silent Night?
I was going to, but why is the on demand $20? If they made it like $6, like
is Evan.
I know, Edgar. God damn it! But I'm not like you. Anatomy of a Fall. I waited. I bought it.
Yeah.
Hey, time is of the essence, so I had to.
Exactly. Can we talk about Anatomy of a Fall instead? Do we have time for that?
Let's do it.
Let's do that instead of Silent Night. Sorry, Silent Night. Sorry.
We have plenty of time now, right, Edgar?
But Anatomy of a Fall, masterpiece. masterpiece. Holy shit. This is
Beautiful
right
movie.
up my fucking alley. This is so good.
One of the best courtroom dramas I've seen.
Ever. And I've seen a lot of them, but this is great. And this is just...
It's so engaging. The camera work is so dynamic. Sandra
Like-
Hüller, and masterpiece of a performance. The kid, Milo something, and a revelation, man.
One of the biggest like shockers of the year. Like I'm preparing myself for the courtroom drama between her and me, some stuff about her husband, the back and forth between the guy and the prosecutor, but
the
kid,
French fucking gay French guy who Jet played going after her, so good.
So good. He was doing his job, and he was good at it. I was like, I don't know.
I love how this movie doesn't tell you like what happened. Like it's all up to interpretation. Like it doesn't specifically tell you like if she did it or not, and that's genius.
That's really genius. That's really fucking genius. It leaves the audience in the unknown, and it leaves certain characters in the unknown as well. So we're in the shoes of a lot of these different characters, and that really helps with the engagement because we don't know what to believe. There's no clear answers in that subtle. It's one of those overtly subtle movies where it's just like they don't give you a lot of the answers here. It's up to you to think about how these certain scenes are played for, and I love that because even the lawyer doesn't know. Nobody really knows. They're just doing their jobs, but you don't really know what the case here. But
the flashback with the argument is one of the best scenes of the year. Like, oh
fantastic
my God,
argument. I love
this
a good
screenplay
argument.
is fucking incredible.
Yeah, and how it delves into the complexities of their relationship, who they are as people, and I say that, but it's also how can you judge who they are as people based off of one argument? You really can't.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the point of the movie as well. But you can listen to the voice of the son, the wife, people that were actually in the periphery. Like you can get a certain picture of a character from these two people, but again, you don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know if there is a side of emotionality or sentimentality to these arguments, to these pleas. And that makes it all so fucking interesting. Again, there's like this power of the unknown that's just creeping throughout the entire movie. And I love
it never tells you. You never find
tells
out.
You. And it just makes it so emotional, more emotional than you're expecting for a courtroom drama, because you're in the shoes of everybody in this movie. And the way that they, regardless of the perspective, the director decided to show us, like, well, maybe he fell off a roof. We'll see that sequence. Well, maybe he committed suicide. We'll see that sequence.
Maybe he was pushed.
Maybe it pushed. We'll see that. And I'm like, oh, this is magic.
Direction was insane.
Really good. Really good to actually visually see that, regardless of like how different each perspective is. It was just so complex. Like it handled good drama between two people, two adults who have lived a lot of their lives and are just now going through the pain of a certain tragedy in the movie. How that can really cripple people, their lives, their relationships to each other. The idea of love, is it really there? Do I like how much love is still there kind of element, while also just being, again, a very engaging mystery.
Yeah, this movie does so much and does it all so well.
It tackles so many different genres, tones, and again, just being a very good courtroom drama at the same time. I was like, I heard so much fucking hype, Josh, so much hype, and for these movies, I'm just like,
it's succeeded on every piece of it.
It is like I sat and watched it like at 2 a.m. I'm like, am I gonna be tired watching this? But I just like, sat down in my couch and I was zoomed in, locked in. Even the first scene. And the first scene is so bewildering.
Yeah.
Like
with the sound, the music. Oh my God.
Yeah. Small spoilers, but like in she's playing like pimp. Or not she, but the husband is. And it's just like it's so overbearing. I'm like,
it too.
I'm like, what kind of movie is this? But it got me engaged, and I'm like, okay, this is very interesting here.
And she's flirting with like the interviewer too, like it's so interesting.
And then that's like it's a
how
thing
that comes back in the courtroom too.
Exactly, it's the thing I thought of. I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. But then it's actually brought up. I'm like, oh, really? Is this? And then again, it messes with my mind. I'm like, wait, was she or was she not? It's like, oh my gosh, like the way it really juggles the audience's emotions too, like us as people. It was really good.
Yeah.
This is easily one of the best of the year for me.
It's top 5 for me.
Yeah.
Have you guys
And I will
talked about-
say, Snoop the dog is like top 20 performances of the year. This dog does some wild shit in this movie.
He's good. He's good. There were certain scenes I'm like, Milo, what'd you do? What'd you do? But yeah, the dog was excellent. Really good dog. Really good dog. You don't see a lot of great dogs in movies.
There's a lot of them this year.
I mean, there's Air Bud, iconic.
I mean, this year alone, we have the dog from Talk to Me, iconic.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Good,
we have,
yeah.
so we have
Oh,
some
Nazi dog.
Speaking of talk,
the Nazi dog is of interest.
I got Talk to Me for Christmas.
Ayo.
We have the dog from Falling Leaves, which you guys haven't seen, but
Not at all.
great dog.
Um,
You have anything to say on the?
yeah.
Oh, probably one of the best needle drops that I've seen in a movie all year. Not because it's not just a gimmick, but it actually plays a part in the
pimp
narrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sandra, fantastic in this and in the Zone of Interest. Milo, the little kid, deserves as much hype as any adult performer this year. Like
He should be in the 5 for support.
yeah, like
It's
that
so
entire
crazy he's not.
that entire sequence when he asked to be alone with like the babysitter or the caretaker, and he like starts explaining everything that he's feeling. Like, oh my god, you just feel like every single fucking emotion. And then when you actually hear like his story, like in the what do you call it, in the court or whatever, like, and like you start like flashing back, and like the dad is talking while the kid is the actually one who you hear like speaking. Like it's such good editing, everything is just so fucking incredible about this movie. And Justine should be in Best Director for
She
this.
should. Yeah.
I've had her in. Instead of Jonathan
really?
Glazer. I've had her in
Really?
instead of Jonathan
Okay.
Glazer. I think she's the
Interesting.
one. And I've had this since like November or October, November.
Having seen Zone of Interest now, I think you're wrong.
Yeah, I think you're wrong.
I'm sticking with Justine.
Should we segue to Zone of Interest then, Edgar?
Sure.
How was the zone? Was it interesting?
Oof. It's a heavy movie.
Heavy movie. It's like I don't think this is that big of a spoiler because it's more of a technical thing, but like this movie takes place with this family, and they are living like right next to like Auschwitz as everything is going down back in World War II. But like obviously they're living right next to it, so they can like hear everything that's going on inside. And like the sound design of this movie,
Unreal.
unfucking real. It's like, oh my god, like it's like it should be like it's probably like top 3 for me of the year.
Oh yeah, totally.
And like the thing about it that it's so eerie is that sometimes you don't like throughout the movie, as these characters, this family are going about their day like as normal while this thing is happening right next door. It's very subtle, but you can hear the screams like almost like in the wind, and it's fucking terrifying. Like
it's the most horrifying movie of the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's chilling. It's like such an important piece of filmmaking. Like it's
especially now.
Jonathan Glazer's vision here is unmatched. I think that's why I'm saying like I did see him being a director. Like this really is a director movie for sure.
And he does such a great job at like directing all of these performers, playing all of these very not very good people, but like at the same time you're like captivated by them. Like
and like genius thing is that like they're not evil to themselves. Like they're just doing day-to-day lives.
They're doing their jobs.
They have their own struggles like with their families and with their relationships, and it's so fascinating to see like where does evil like how does evil like where do you draw the line with evil? It's so fascinating.
And like the very last sequence of the movie, like the last 5 minutes is like oh my god, like
horrifying.
It's a great movie. Like it generally makes me sad that I don't have this movie in my top 10. It's like 13 or 14 of the year for me.
I know.
But like
it got in.
Yeah, but like it's such a good movie.
It's then the score too, like throughout the movie there's not much of score, but it begins with like a 5-minute piece I won't spoil it, but like it begins and ends with like a prevalent store, and it's gorgeous, man. Like Mika Levi, incredible shit.
Again, not to spoil like those. I don't know how you can spoil the score, but like think like Dune, Evan. And it sounds weird for this movie, but think Dune.
And like it's so interesting how it comes in because I don't want to spoil it, but it's so fascinating how it like begins and starts or ends the movie. Like it's stay through the credits when you see this movie.
Stay to the credits.
Post credit scene, Hitler.
The score is that good.
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
But yeah, Jonathan Glazer is just unmatched.
I can definitely see him getting in. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
Yeah.
I'm going with the out of convention pick.
Like, I'm starting to think that this might be like a year where we see like more than one international movie in Best Picture.
Yeah, they're both of them are that good, for sure.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing.
And like this movie is so like such a one of a kind thing too that like it. I really hope it gets recognized for Best Picture.
Good.
Like I love both of these movies, but like if you were to tell me who would you give Best International Feature, this or Anatomy, I would be like,
well, Anatomy's not eligible.
Oh yeah, right.
France is stupid.
In France, yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's something you appreciate more than you enjoy. But I think that's not a slight to this movie.
I wouldn't watch this again, probably. But...
No.
but it's
it is like it is. Yeah, it's moving.
Good.
And funny enough, the movie that I saw after The Zone of Interest was All of Us Strangers.
What do you guys think of this one?
Had to drive 1 hour to watch this movie, Evan.
Fuck. There's no way I'm driving an hour.
Get out your fucking movies, studios.
It's ridiculous. I'll see if Fandango updated it.
But yeah, All of Us Strangers. I'm kind of bummed that I got the trailer for it before The Zone of Interest. On the same day that I was going to watch.
I'm so glad I went to this without the trailer.
Because I wanted to go in blind, and I was like saving myself, and then the trailer's playing.
That sucks.
But the movie anyway. The movie's great. Like, it's such a tender yet tragic look at somebody trying to reconnect with not only their parents, but with just the emotion of love itself. And it's such a beautiful movie, and
what this movie ends up being, I don't want to spoil, but because it's so interesting and it works so well.
Yeah, and Andrew Scott, my God, top 5.
Performance
Put him in the top 5.
He's so fucking good. Like the way he regresses back into his childhood in certain scenes and plays it like with his face is just so powerful.
Yeah, because again, I'm not gonna get into it. But other people, Paul Mescal is great in this movie, but everybody's talking about him, rightfully so. But I think Jamie Bell and Claire Foy are they should be talked about for supporting.
Claire Foy especially, like oh my fucking god, dude!
Like there's a particular scene between her and Scott where they're just talking about again the emotion of love. Yeah, and
it's so impressive.
She's just so hard. Like she's not trying to be judging or judgmental, but like it just comes out like the way that she
so authentic.
Very natural. But yeah, like this movie is just great. It's really well shot too. Some of the best needle shots of the year as well. Yeah, great movie.
Wow. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. That movie and Zone of Interest and all this fiction, the 3 movies I'm dying to see whenever they come out to the States, to Ohio. Yeah. What else? What's next?
Black Christmas.
Yeah.
We watched it. Masterpiece, horror masterpiece. Loved it.
Nash, you fucking idiot.
I don't think I liked it as much as you guys did, but I really respect it. And the ending is haunting as shit.
Fantastic last act. Go watch our commentary because we had a blast, Edgar and I. I really like the pacing of the movie, establishing the characters, the setting, especially like, well, for me, like before knowing how it ends, like the suspects we had in mind, like that was fun to kind of like peter through.
Yeah.
The despite the ending, or even in spite of the ending. But it was just a jaw-droppingly like intense final act.
Yeah.
That the movie builds so well.
This was also my first viewing of the movie, and I went into it thinking it was going to be a straight like slasher, and it being like
It's more psychological for sure.
Yeah, and like a murder mystery in a sense, like catching the killer. That was fun. So yeah, I love this movie, and I actually went ahead and watched the remake, the 26 remake. I think it was 26, 2006. It's not as good, but at least it's doing its own thing. Like it's not trying to like replicate it to the like beat by beat. It's one of those remakes where like it falls victim of trying to over explain the backstory of the killer.
Oh no.
It's actually a pretty interesting backstory, but like they go way too into detail. I don't know if you care of me to saying it or not, but like
I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah.
Essentially they say that Billy, the caller, the assassin, like that he was the way that he was because he was constantly raped by his mother. That's why he keeps talking about mother in the phone, and like his mother became pregnant with like his son, and like
whoa,
and then,
jeez.
And again, it has some interesting ideas, but like it kind of like botches them because then the movie goes on to like make this subplot of like, oh, but actually like his child, like the daughter that he had with his mom, becomes a killer too, and they're like teaming up in the movie. It's just like very wild. It's a really wild movie.
That sounds wild as hell. Now I want to see it.
Sounds like Friday the 13th.
That's nuts.
But it's funny because the ending of this movie, like the last set piece, it's you can tell that Wes Craven took it for inspiration for Scream 4 because it's all happens like in a hospital, and even like the way that they kill like the killers is very similar with like the, what do you call the things to like,
oh, defibrillators.
Yeah, those. So yeah, that was fun, but again, like not very memorable as the size of this really wild backstory.
Sounds wild. Like how do you unearth that? Oh shit. Man, that director is not cooking there. Wow, that's wild. Wasn't there another one like a 2019 remake?
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Okay, but this one was with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, right? The
Yeah.
2006 one.
Really? Oh, interesting.
This after Sky High fame. Interesting.
And what else? I saw Anyone But You. I had fun with it. I know Josh didn't like it, but I had fun with it.
Oh, Josh didn't like it? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's
good.
Oh, yeah, the bad.
Yeah, this one didn't do it for me.
I want to watch it. I think I'll catch it on streaming. It looks fun.
Why watch this when Set It Up exists?
Why watch any romantic comedy when Set It Up exists?
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, it just comes off so awkward. Like Sydney Sweeney, we know she's a good actress, but she's not good in this. It's her line delivery is very awkward. Gwen Powell, he's all right.
But they're hot, Josh. That's the point.
I mean, yeah, they're hot.
How's the chemistry though? How's their chemistry?
Chemistry's all right.
It's all right.
Oh wow.
I just think it's a lot of weird choices. In this movie.
I think if the movie was more like that sequence where they fall into the river, into the water.
Yes, that was good shit.
If it was like, if the entire movie had that same energy, I think it would be much better.
Exactly.
But I still had fun.
It just seems so artificial.
Yeah.
Is this Sony?
Yeah.
What day? I was like, where's this gonna be streaming on? Probably
Netflix.
Netflix.
They have a deal with Netflix. So it's probably gonna go big once they hit Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll see it then.
Like No Hard Feelings.
Yeah. A lot of people don't
weird.
No Hard Feelings.
Yeah, all the weird like side stuff in this movie just felt weird. Like, it just didn't work for me.
How was the comedy? Did you laugh a lot? No.
Did not hit at all.
It was alright.
And you're like, did I chuckle? Did I chuckle? Oh.
I was like, I'm thinking about it.
Oh, did anybody else see Color Purple? Just me?
I saw both of these last night.
Technically, I saw it the first, but we can talk about it.
We talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time with this one. I think the weakest part are, ironically, like the music numbers weren't
interesting,
super memorable to me. Besides, I love the last one. The last one's very heartwarming. The one with the guy from
Miss Seeley's Pants, Banner.
I don't think I liked
where
that
she's
one.
opening her pen shop. I love that.
Yeah, I thought that was okay. But I like the one when she comes, like the Taraji P Henson's character first arrives.
Yeah.
That was a good party sequence.
Hell no
there.
worked for me.
Hell no was great. That's another one. But yeah, I think it was like very hit and miss for me music wise. But the story was so heartwarming, so tragic.
Pretty
But it
compelling.
really balanced the tragedy, the black trauma of this movie with the heartwarming arc that a lot of these characters go through. I think it really juggled those tones. I was very curious because this is one of my mom's favorite movies.
Have you seen the original?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
and it's very depressing, but it's also very uplifting. I'm like, how is a musical going to juggle that? Because musicals are usually more uplifting. But I think this musical, even though it is a musical, really juggled those two tones very well, and it really set itself apart from the original while adding a lot of context, like the whole where you see her go to, where she moves out from
Memphis?
Yeah, she goes to Memphis. That whole part wasn't in the movie.
Interesting.
But we got a lot of context, and the movie goes on for a lot longer than I was expecting. And then, because the other movie, I don't want to spoil, super classic, but like you don't really see that continuation of what happens to her in Memphis and whatever. You do get the reunion though at the very, very end. But Coleman Domingo, wow,
He's just so good in everything he does, man.
he's
so good.
excellent in this movie. I didn't hear a lot of buzz by him, but
Yeah,
man, I hated his ass.
The hype that he's getting for Rustin, he should be getting it for this.
Yeah, holy shit, what a like dark and crazy character. Just did not like him at all, but I love to hate him. You know what I mean? He played that evil, that darkness so well.
Mhm.
In his arc at the end was still kind of believable.
I think it's a
You still
bit
hate him,
rushed, but
Yeah.
it works.
and I felt the same way with the other one, the original. It was like, I get it because of the story, like, but at the same time, yeah. Either way, it leaves you feeling it's like it's kind of rushed. But I think all the actors were really good. Taraji P Henson, Danielle Brooks, Fantasia. Wow, like
She surprised me with this. Like she was incredible here.
woo, fantastic. Very like emotive because she was also a very muted character. Like she due to her fear.
Yeah,
her
it's so interesting. Like the
circumstances.
character is so muted, but she's so expressive.
Exactly. That's what makes it so like powerful. A lot of her scenes. And yeah, even going back to the flashback sequence, Halle Berry was excellent for the
So
small
That
role.
opening was incredible.
Really, really good. So yeah, I just had a really good time. It's a very powerful movie. My theater was packed theater. I saw it on Christmas Day, and the crowd was loving it. So yeah, it was a great experience too.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original movie, so this was my first time with the story, and I think I was kind of floored by this movie. It really impressed me. As you know, like me and Evan were kind of doubters of this movie going into it, like before
Yeah.
season and stuff, and it shocked me. I had a great time with this movie, and
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the trailers, but Blitz Bazaluis, is that how you pronounce his name?
Now it is. Yeah.
His direction is really inspired, and especially with
Yeah.
musical sequences, I think this movie looks fantastic.
The scale of a lot of these
Oh,
sequences,
totally,
really
yeah.
good.
The ending, like set is so beautiful.
Stunning. You're right. The way they're like under the trees, the shadows, the
Yeah.
lighting. Woo!
A lot
Really
of the
good.
lighting in this movie hits. I liked a lot of the musical numbers. I think they really work. There's some that are like hit and miss, but and I like as a story, it might be a little uneven, but I think the emotion overpowers that in the end.
For sure. You just become so connected because of that powerful first act. You're like, man.
Fantasia Barrino, like I said, really surprised me. She's incredible here. Danielle Brooks deservedly getting as
All
much
the
hype as
buzz.
she is. Coleman Domingo, Corey Hawkins, like really loved him here. I think
so
he's one of the most
good.
electrifying actors we have recently, and he's so good here.
Has he ever been bad? Like
No.
he's
No.
always good. He's always good. Yeah, he was so you kind of believed he was the son of Coleman Domingo's character. They played that dynamic really well.
Totally.
Yeah.
Something interesting about Danielle Brooks while watching the movie is that when she comes in, when she gets her big introduction, and something happens eventually where she kind of leaves the movie for a bit, and I thought to myself like, oh, that's it, like that's her entire character. Like I get like she's really good in the movie, but like
Mhm.
I don't understand why the hype of
Then she comes
her,
back.
and then she comes back, and then what happens to her character. And something that's so affected about what happens to her character is that for the entire movie, obviously this movie takes place in a time where oppression and racism was even bigger than it is today, but like the movie doesn't really address that until that one moment.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
because the movie has been saving that kind of like storyline of those kind of themes behind until that moment, they hit even harder when it happens. And when you see her like completely, this overly confident woman, rightfully so, be completely broken, it's just like
Yeah.
heartbreaking. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's one of those heavy sequences from the original movie too. I was kind of bracing myself because I'm like, oh, I fucking hate this part. But it's hard to watch, but it's also, man, what a
She
gut
sells
wrenching
it so
thing. She
well.
sells it so well. I agree.
And her
Um,
first
yeah.
laugh, like that in the dinner scene,
Mhm.
oh, so good.
So good.
That
Yeah.
that dinner scene is the best.
Yeah.
So good.
hmm
Have you seen the original, Edgar?
I haven't. That's one of my
Yeah.
Spielberg blind spots too.
It's one of those movies for me where it's like I love it, but I'm not in a rush to revisit it. It's kind of like the same thing. I've never seen Schindler's List either.
You haven't?
No.
You
And,
should.
and
Okay.
for me, I'm just like,
I watched
know-
that in high school.
my high school teacher never showed it to me.
Mm.
I remember my history teacher showed it to her previous class the year before, and everybody in my class wanted to watch it. But she was like, I think
Man,
I'm
Schindler's
done showing
List
that
is
to
a
people.
masterpiece.
Another blind spot for me is Empire of the Sun.
I haven't seen that either. Yeah.
I've never seen that either. Yeah,
I've been slowly catching up on my Spielberg, but I still have a few other
me
ones.
too.
I
I've never
haven't
seen that early 2000s movie. Starts with the M.
Munich.
Not Munich. Yes. Yeah, I've
Mhm.
never seen that.
Warhorse, I haven't seen.
I remember seeing the trailers for Warhorse being like,
Yeah,
get
I've never seen it.
ass.
Um,
Never gonna see it.
Yeah, it seems.
I really need to see Duel though, like his first movie. I've heard a lot
Yeah,
about
I've never seen Duel. That's the Western, right?
Kinda, yeah.
I
sort
think it's
of.
like the versus the truck or something.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of something else then.
Mm.
But yeah, that was a lot of my 2023
Yeah.
movies we went through there. I saw a lot of just
Um,
rewatches in December too.
I have a bid section of just like movies I caught up on. I just had to go in right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, bid bid block right here. Let me
Oh boy.
do this real quick. Okay, I watched Return to Seoul, a Korean
Oh,
movie.
from last year. or
Really,
2022.
really was shocked by it. Gorgeous visuals. The soundtrack's really good, and the direction has really like strong grasp on its style. It knows when to like be flashy and vibrant, but also knows when to like be subtle and more emotional in others. The lead Park Ji Min is fantastic, and it's her first role ever. She's incredible. Evan, you would love this movie.
Okay. Yeah. Let me remember
Put
to
on
put
the
that on the list. Yeah.
I watched Suzume finally.
Finally, what'd you think?
It's wacky, it's earnest, it's the visuals are incredible. I think the ending's beautiful. I think
I don't
I don't think I love it as much as you do, but I really respect it.
Not a lot of people do, besides Nathan.
Yeah.
I was in tears at a certain sequence. Towards
It's
the middle of
wacky
that
though,
movie.
like
It's very wacky. It's very wacky. I mean, yeah, it's about
really fun.
I don't want to get into too much points, but like it's a movie with a chair and a chair, very prominent chair.
Yeah.
I can see that. And it's very crazy and wacky, but it's like romantic and earnest and
It's really emotional.
heartwarming,
In the
super emotional.
too.
That third act is my favorite third act. I'm just
Another like very
yeah.
similar to Boy and the Heron too.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I adore Suzume. Great scores, great soundtrack. Yeah. Continue.
I watched Showing Up by Kelly Reichardt, her newest movie, director of First Cow, among other things. I really enjoyed it. It's like a beautifully mundane exploration of like the sad, lonely artist stereotype. And it's like has a lot of like muted authenticity that Kelly Reichardt really is really knows how to like put in her movies. John Magaro also here and also
Oh,
fantastic in this movie.
cool.
He's having a great year. Yeah, it's really interesting, really great movie.
Wait, you said this is Kelly Reinhardt's movie?
Yeah.
It came out last year, 2023?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Does she have a new movie this year? Or I'm making that up?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking of your
I think
movie.
so.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
It's with Michelle Williams is the lead. Then Han Shao's supporting.
Hong Chao. Great
She's
stuff.
great. You Hurt My Feelings by Nicole Holofcener.
Oh, that's the one with
writer
Julia
of-
Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah, writer of Can You Ever Forgive Me and Last Duel. It was alright. I get what's going for, not really for me though. But she was great. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, great.
Yeah.
What else? I watched Falling Leaves, an international contender this year.
What country is it?
Good question.
I thought it was a Japanese movie.
Finnish. Finland.
Finnish. Very wrong. Okay.
Perfect Days, I think this is the one you're thinking of.
I'm thinking Perfect Days. Yes, I am.
Yeah. Which Neon has to fucking put out because I want to see that movie so bad, but there's no way I'd watch it.
I saw a trailer for that. I'm like, oh, it looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah, Fallen Leaves is good. It's like a very somber, melodramatic rom-com. Two leads are good. Perfect runtime, 80 minutes. More movies need to be 80 minutes. It's just really, really lovely movie.
What was the other movie we liked that was 80 minutes?
Rylan.
Rylan, yeah, that was
Rylan's so
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
What else? She Came to Me, with Peter Dinklage, Anne Hathaway, Marissa Tomei.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. How was
It's
it?
very odd little movie. There's a lot going on with it. But I liked it. It was good.
Was he better in Hunger Games?
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Stand Marine. Watched that.
How scary was it?
It was terrifying.
Okay.
It's like this movie is way more vibes than anything else, but it really commits to that. And
Is it
the imagery
also
is great.
Is it also like fear the unknown kind of aspect to it?
Yeah,
Okay.
The atmosphere is just off the charts. It's really truly like one of a kind too. Like, I've never really seen anything like this movie. It's very slow. You have to be really like engaged with it to you have to really put into it what you want to take out of it. Really.
Got it. Yeah.
What else? Renfield, bad movie, worst movie of the year.
Wow.
I hated that movie.
Wow. Worst
Hated
movie
it.
of the year. I heard mid, but
nothing
worst
redeeming about
movie
it.
of the year?
Yeah.
Come on. At least the performances? Nick Cage?
He's
Wow.
Nick Cage. He's good, but there's just nothing interesting going on in that movie.
Holy shit. Worst movie of the year. Interesting.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss for Josh.
What else? Super Mario Brothers. Finally watched that.
Oh, wow. What'd you think?
Also mid.
Peaches.
No, not good.
Peaches? Did Jack
Peaches?
Black sing hard?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I thought it was mid too, but you know,
Animation's great.
Good visuals, yeah.
Yeah. Finally watched Polite Society. I know.
I like
you
I
guys
was
love
going to
that.
say Puss in Boots. Polite Society, yeah, great movie.
Really fun movie.
Yeah.
Really great directorial debut.
Good, like escalation of weirdness too.
Yeah, I think that
Like-
kind of didn't work for me as much.
Oh, I
think
dug
it got
it.
a little too weird.
It got very weird, but I dug it. I thought it was very fun, very goofy.
I think
very,
it's too ambitious for its own good at some time. Like at some
That's
points.
fair.
But I respect that it goes for that.
Me too, and I like the sister dynamic as well. That was very strong. Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Yeah, very much inspired by Edgar Wright, but I think it's also its own thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I watched 2 documentaries finally. Finally watched documentaries this year. Beyond Utopia, which is about this pastor, South Korean pastor, trying to infiltrate a family out of North Korea. It's fascinating. It is heartbreaking, and it's hopeful. And American Symphony, which is about John Batiste, the the artist. You guys probably know him from he did the jazz compositions for Soul. For Guitar
Okay.
Soul.
Yes.
Really talented artist, and it's about his like rise to fame, while also dealing with his wife having cancer. So it's a really, really emotional story.
Sounds heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, heavy.
And
There's
this
a
was
lot
this
more.
big.
A lot more to get into. I just said one that really surprised me. Landscape with Invisible Hand. This is Tori Finley's newest movie,
What
behind
is he on?
Thoroughbreds and Bad Education. This
Was it hard
movie,
again?
Landscape with Invisible Hand,
Landscape. Okay.
went completely under the radar. But I think it's really weird, really messy, but really like one of the most ambitious movies I've seen this year.
I looked this up when you talked about it. And I was like, this looks weird.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if I
so
like it.
weird, but I think it works. The alien designs are interesting. It's like a coming of age movie, alien invasion movie, but also like studies like exploitation of art and capitalism. Like there's a lot going on in this movie, but I think it all works, kind of. That's pretty much it. I have a few others, but I haven't talked about them. I know me and Edgar will both watch How to Have Sex, which we talked about.
Did you guys learn anything? I mean,
It sounds like a movie to make fun of, but once you watch the movie and you see the subject matter,
It's
you're
heavy.
like, it's heavy.
I've never heard of this movie. What is this?
I heard of it a lot, but I didn't.
I've been hearing about it like on film Twitter and Letterboxd recently. It's like
Is this Sundance or just
British movie.
came out at the end of the movie or
I think
end
it's
of the
at
year? TIFF.
like a fall festival movie.
It's a festival, yeah.
Okay.
Where'd
you guys like? So you just watch this online or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's on Mubi in the UK, so we'll be here
okay.
eventually. But
Sure.
yeah.
Got it.
I had to fly to UK to see it. You know.
Got it. You gotta make those commitments for sure.
Yeah.
NordVPN.
I just canceled my NordVPN because I've been watching a lot of like reality TV from other.
I've never got into those.
You're
Does that
watching
actually work?
reality TV from other countries.
Do
The
those
Traders,
VPNs
Canada, Survivor
do I need to-
Australia.
Do I need to have a VPN? Does it work?
What do you mean?
Wait, I don't
I
know.
mean, it's useful. Yeah, like if I want to watch a Canadian show, just click on Canada and you're good.
Okay.
It's clutch. It's clutch. I got those like streamer discounts. A lot of streamers love those NordVPN discounts. So it was not that pricey. But how was this movie?
Heavy.
It's heavy?
No, but like I think it also has like probably what's the most underrated performance of the year in Mia McKenna Bruce. I think that's how you.
The lead actress.
Yeah, that's the lead actress.
She's sensational here.
It's if I had to compare it to something else, it would probably be closer to like Zac Efron. That same kind of like stoic, very quiet, subtle performance.
Yeah.
What's the
But she's
genre
also
here?
loud and expressive when she needs to be, but
Yeah.
also like very contemplative.
What's the genre here? Thriller, drama.
Coming of age drama. Very
Gen Z coming of age thriller.
Okay, interesting.
I
never heard of this.
I don't
movie.
know.
I
What else to compare it to?
I was talking to Josh after I saw the movie, and I told him like
After the UK.
after the UK.
Yeah, after we flew to the UK. Yeah.
In terms of like tonally, the closest thing for a movie that I would be able to compare it with 2023 would be like the Royal Hotel. It's that same of like tension.
Okay, I like that. So that's a good comparison.
You see, you can also fly to the UK and watch
Let
it.
me get my
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah.
I'll get my ticket to that.
You know, point today, yeah.
This will probably get a for 2024 release, huh? Josh.
I think it's a movie release, so
okay.
yeah, I'll probably
Next
did a
basically.
North American movie sometime soon.
But yeah, that was actually my last log of the year. So my very last movie that I saw.
Mine was Iron Claw.
Yeah, but yeah, it's 2023 might be one of the best years for directorial debuts I've seen. Like,
Yeah,
as a whole, but
Yeah, like when you think about it, you're like, oh crap, there's a ton of surprising.
Past
directorial
Lives,
debuts.
Daytona Tyrone,
Yeah,
Rye Lane, How to Have Sits is one of them, and like what Molly Manning Walker does here is really authentic and really tender, and it's flashy when it needs to be, and it also has a lot of emotion behind it, and the editing is really powerful. I think it looks like visually stunning. This movie is really good. It's exactly what you want this film to be, and doesn't waste a frame.
Good. Love hearing that.
And
What else?
What else?
I think that's it for me, for my part.
That's it for me. I watched a lot of did you guys watch a lot of Christmas movies on Christmas?
I watched a few, yeah.
Not really.
I watched the usual A Year Without a Santa Claus, A Christmas Story,
Yes.
5 times.
I watched Year Without Santa Claus too.
It's great. It's just iconic.
Great movie.
I love that. Every year. Yeah.
But the funny thing now is that every time I watch those now, I can't get
The meme.
Logan Roy meme out of my head.
Perfect
Queer.
It's great. Trying to control this town, make them believe in Santa Claus. It's very weird. Instead of coming there being I'm fucking Santa, he has to fake
It's a
it.
weird movie.
He has to force this kid to believe in Santa, who obviously doesn't want to believe in Santa, but then his parents are like, "Please believe in Santa." It's weird,
And,
but I love it. I love it. I
the
feel
Miser twins are just gay icons.
peak. Yes. Oh man, great stuff.
I watched Muppet Christmas Carol, obviously my favorite Christmas movie. Just the best movie ever.
Yeah.
It's so good. I watched It's a Wonderful Life for the first time.
I've still never seen that movie. Yeah.
I was really surprised. Everyone talks about it, being the best Christmas movie, and it actually is the best Christmas movie. Maybe it's up there for me. James Stewart might be one of the best performances I've ever seen. Ever. He's unreal in this movie, and he does so much.
Yeah.
He's so good. This movie's great.
One of the best of all time.
I watched Eyes Wide Shut for the first time.
Ayo.
Oh wow! What you think?
Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise.
Sponsored by
DC legend. Yeah.
Wild movie.
Wild.
Was not expecting the Troll Angel.
Yeah.
The horny levels are off the charts. Kubrick was
I love how Kubrick went out on a horny note, like his last movie.
Good for him.
This is my legacy. Yeah.
I watched Little Women again in a theater, the 2019 one.
Oh wow!
It was a fun time.
Good for you.
Love that movie. What else? I watched The Apartment, New Year's Eve to watch. The Apartment for the first time, Billy Wilder's
Oh, I've never seen that
movie.
Yeah.
Great movie, masterpiece.
I rewatched Die Hard 2. I tried to watch Die Hard. I see that every year, but it wasn't streaming anywhere. I don't have the Blu-ray. I was really upset.
It's on streaming.
No,
It's on Disney Plus.
It's
Nope.
not.
It's not on
Oh,
Hulu.
interesting.
You have to get an FX pass
Weird.
or whatever it's called, subscription. But they have all the other Die Hard. I'm not watching the other one.
They released it in theaters this year too.
I saw that. Yeah, it did pretty well for itself. But yeah, Die Hard 2 is also a very fun, underrated sequel. I love Die Hard 2. So
I haven't
saw
seen
that.
any of them.
Really? You haven't seen any of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to
Come
try and
on.
watch see that release in theaters at some point, but it didn't work out.
I would recommend it. Die Hard 1 is one of my favorite action movies ever. Ever. I finally saw Klaus.
Hey,
Loved
I haven't seen it, but
Klaus.
I've heard great things.
Klaus is great. A great origin or different take on the Santa Claus mythos. What a fantastic animated film. I was so engaged from start to finish. If you have not seen Klaus, really, really, really recommend it. That was a big surprise for me. And yeah, did you guys watch any new things on New Year's? One of the first movies I watched when the clock struck 12 was Emperor's New Groove. Rewatched that. Love Emperor's New Groove. And I rewatched Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I watched
movie.
Babylon again on the first.
Of course you did. Great movie.
Got to start off the year right.
Quick question, Josh, for that. Is it what's the aspect ratio for the 4K for that? Is it just like the widescreen or
239.
okay?
But the blats are great, at least on my TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Great taste.
Bro, have you guys ever seen the movie Evolution? By the way, it's like
I've seen the show Evolution. Wait, was that Evolution or Revolution?
Are you thinking of Revolution with the on NBC?
Yes.
With the dystopian movie.
I liked
that first season. Great.
That first season hit.
So good. It was funny. Like, it'll be like, I'm traveling from Chicago to LA. It'd be like the next episode. I'm like, that's bullshit. Yeah. You didn't walk there. But anyways, Revolution was fun. But Evolution's like this 2001 horror comedy. Like
that was also Revolution's like the first thing I saw John Tarlo in too.
Oh yeah, he was good. He was like
great in that. Dude.
He was like a general, an evil general
in
that one, who could also have sword fight. And yeah, it was really good. But Evolution again, the horror comedy. Said early 2001. Ivan Reitman movie. It's weird. It's crazy, but I love this movie. It doesn't hold up the best. Certain jokes don't hold up the best, but I love this movie. I've seen it a lot growing up, and I rewatched it for the first time in a long time. And I realized why I liked it, mainly because Chris Stuckman did a review about it for Halloween. And I'm like, I haven't seen that in a long time, so I'm going to rewatch it, and it's really good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me in terms of rewatches and everything else. Christmas.
Yeah. So Doctor Who, I have to talk about it a little bit.
Never heard of it.
I was a huge fan of Doctor Who back in the Matt Smith era. Then dropped off after him. He was great.
He kept off for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. So like with this new era of Ncuti Gatwa taking over the role, I said, hey, I'm gonna watch it now. So they had 3 specials for the 60th anniversary with David Tennant coming back, and they were really fun, really weird sci-fi. I think you guys both like. You don't need to watch the previous anything to watch these. I think you would have a blast. It's weird sci-fi, really fresh. Then Ncuti Gatwa's first episode came out on Christmas, and it is incredible. If you love Doctor Who, if you don't, like, I think you should watch this. Really good shit.
I've heard so many raves about this special. Yeah,
Evan, you need to watch the special. I think you should. I think you like it.
Nothing about Doctor Who.
You don't need to know absolutely nothing.
Okay. I mean, I watched a lot of the
really good. This new era is working as a really good entry point.
Okay, where can I watch this shit?
It's all on Disney Plus.
Really?
Season. They have a deal with Disney Plus now for the new season.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
It's Church of Ruby Road. It's the first episode of the new Doctor, and he's fantastic, and the companion's fantastic, and it's really fresh. It looks great, and it's a blast.
Everybody's been selling me on this. I grew up on the David Tennant stuff. I watched a lot of the David Tennant stuff.
Oh, you've seen that? Really?
Not in order, but my Latin teacher loved Doctor Who, and she showed us like the.
I didn't know you've seen it.
The Pompeii episodes, the gargoyle, not gargoyle, but the stone statues one, the stone angels one. Those are the 2 that I always remember. But I watched a couple of the David Tennant ones, not in any order.
Yeah,
but I've never seen the Matt Smith stuff. I heard he was great. But yeah, this series never really, I don't know, never drove me in. But I had such a blast watching Star Trek this year, 2023. I mean, so I think I would like.
You'd love it. I think you did it, man. Like this, especially this new episode. Like it's a great entry.
I thought it was like a BBC thing, so I thought there was like a disconnect. In terms of
it is in the UK, but like Disney Plus has a deal for this new stuff now.
Okay, so I'll watch it. I'll make a commitment to watch it.
You should.
Make a commitment to watch it. How long is the first special?
An hour.
No, just an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Sounds like a blast. I'll catch it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anything else, guys? Yeah.
I watched Origin, Ava DuVernay's new movie, but we did.
Oh wow, you watched that?
Yeah, it was in LA for a week.
Of course it was. Fucking LA.
We had to save it to talk about it for when you guys see it.
If it comes to Ohio, I have to wait.
It has to come out at some point. What's Neon doing? I don't know.
I guess they don't want to waste money on marketing for a movie that people might not see. It's a business.
Ava DuVernay though.
Yeah. she know the box office hit.
That's true. I mean, Selma did well, didn't it?
It did. Hard to fuck up a Michael.
But Wrinkle in Time,
or
definitely not.
King movie. Yeah, Wrinkle in Time. Did anybody see that Wrinkle in Time?
I saw it. I didn't hate it. I think it was alright. The stuff with Chris Pine in that movie, really good.
Was he a bad guy?
No, he was the dad.
Oh yeah, he was like the missing dad. Yeah,
He was great.
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta head out. So, if you're not watching Percy Jackson, really fun so far. I'm a huge fan of the books.
Oh, yeah.
So Percy Jackson's been a blast. I think they were one a bit too short. I wish they were a bit longer, but I'm having so much fun, like with the new changes and how they're adapting the book. So if you're a fan of the book, if you're not a fan of the book, I would recommend Percy Jackson. But find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. Nathan and I did a commentary of Across the Spider-Verse, both of our favorite movies of last year, and I love that movie so much. 2 hours and 20 minutes just flies by. Fantastic film. So watch that. And,
I might rewatch it in that IMAX release.
Oh, you're right. That came out. I'm like, they pull me back in. I might have to go. January is shit this month, so I'll definitely be catching that. And Oppenheimer again, maybe too. That when that comes out.
Yes.
But not in 70 millimeter because Ohio don't got shit. But anyways, yeah. So find me on Twitter, HarrisEV9, talking all things anime. I made a huge best of 2023 anime, TV, and movie list on New Year's. But yeah, that's about it.
And Edgar.
Yeah, you can find me at EDRTEG and also.
Oh, at least got his ad out.
Don't follow him. Yeah. Go follow. Go find out. Oh, there he is. Oh, two of them. Wow.
I don't know how there's two. There's only one laptop anyway. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, you can find me at EDGRTEG. You can find some of my work at Let It Clear Reviews and the Cinema Spot, and we'll be back for box office episode. Me and Evan. We'll probably do a 2024 movie draft, all three of us.
Yes.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Some
more
Oscar
award
sometime
shows.
soon before
Yeah.
the Oscar noms go out.
Yeah, we have a past schedule ahead of us. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
A lot of the
happening.
2023 stuff.
Yeah, we gotta do a ranking, guys.
Ranking.
Man,
We haven't done that in a year.
Crazy.
Crazy.
We used to knock those out.
Yeah, that's all we did. We gotta get some people on for that. I'm working on an edit. I'm planning early stages of planning the 2023 edit. It's gonna be my best one yet. I can't wait to do it.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Obviously, our rosters watch party in March. Could be a big event.
Yep.
Yeah.
We might be doing some film or like our own awards, but like in a bigger way this year, which would be fun.
Yeah. And we don't know yet if we're gonna release it, but all three of us are gonna curate our own nominations. So yeah, stay in touch for that.
So if you want to find out updates, you check out WHFG podcast for all that stuff. And
Godzilla Minus One, Best Picture, by the way, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Take us out, Josh. Play the rap.
Feels good here.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Let them come.